About to get going from Kauffman Stadium, so without further ado, we get it out to the guys calling today's game, Justin Kutcher and Tom Verducci.
Thanks so much, Ryan. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Kansas City, getting set for the biggest game maybe in the last 25, 29 years here as the Tigers come to town to take on the Royals. In the opener last night, it was all Detroit, jumping all over Jason Vargas. 19 hits en route to 10 runs. Justin Verlander returned to being Justin Verlander, and the Tigers took game one 10-1. So that means the Tigers now have a game-and-a-half lead over the Royals in the AL Central, and the Royals trail the Oakland A's by a half game in the wild card. And hello to everybody, Justin Kutcher alongside Tom Verducci. And Tom, this is the biggest series here since 1985, standing room only. After last night's game, though, it feels like this is a must-win game for Kansas City.
Well, I think if you do the math, you would say no. A game and a half out with 10 to play, that's doable. But psychologically, it is a must-win game. The Tigers have beaten up on the Royals all year long. Especially important today because of who's getting the ball for Kansas City.
Of course, that's the ace, big games, James Shields. They acquired him in the offseason a couple years ago for this reason.
For this reason only, the pitch to win the big games, to win the big games. He's done that throughout his career. As the season dwindles down, his ERA goes down, his winning percentage goes up. He's a guy who likes to pitch on emotion, likes to pitch angry. And I think today you will see an angry James Shields coming off that 10-1 thrashing of the Royals last night.
And he, of course, is going up against the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the American League in Max Scherzer.
It's just been a magical couple of seasons for Max. Look at the Tigers' record. When he gets the ball the last 2 years, they win 75% of the time. Now, he's a lot like Shields, a guy with a mid-90s fastball, wipeout power changeup. And oh, by the way, a free agent at the end of the season. I can't wait for this game. You couldn't ask for a better matchup. Two aces next to last Saturday of the season.
This is the biggest game of the season in Major League Baseball. The Tigers and the Royals battling for the AL Central. We've got first pitch and starting lineups when we come back. Shields gets all set to take the field and take the mound here for the Royals as he will face this lineup for the Tigers. The Tigers starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Kinsler will lead things off and play second. Torrey Hunter will bat second and play right. In the 3 holes of first baseman Miguel Cabrera. Victor Martinez will DH and back cleanup. Batting 5th, J.D. Martinez. Nick Castellanos will bat 6th and play 3rd. Eugenio Suarez will play short and bat 7th. Brian Holiday will catch and bat 8th, and batting 9th is Rajay Davis, the center fielder. And these are the numbers for James Shields.
Yeah, the thing I like about James Shields, you know about the reputation, the big game James. He pitches with emotion. He likes to get himself angry, even if he has to invent reasons to be angry. Maybe he doesn't like the seams on the ball, the mound's too wet. I think today maybe it's a 12 noon start here in Kansas City. Didn't have time for his croissants and coffee, perhaps.
Well, here's Ian Kinsler to lead things off here in this huge game for both teams. Kinsler first pitch swinging down the left field line, a foul ball.
And that will be a theme throughout the day with this Detroit lineup. One of the most aggressive swinging teams in the league. Love to jump on first pitches. This is not the kind of offense that will concede strike one to anybody.
Brad Ausmus in his first year as a manager for these Tigers. Ned Yost, manager here for the Kansas City Royals. The 0-1 to Kinsler. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kinsler's numbers on the year good. 276, 15 home runs, 85 RBIs. The 1-1. Fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think it's safe to say with Kinsler coming over in the Prince Fielder deal, Fielder obviously missed almost the entire year with the injury. The Tigers got the better end of that deal. He's been great for this team.
I give him a lot of credit. You know, he lost some weight in the offseason, 15 to 20 pounds, realizing he was going to a bigger park. Wanted to get more into a game of spraying the ball around.
Back up the middle. Infante, nice play, gets to his feet. That's what this team is known for, their defense.
Well, that is an excellent play by Infante. Terrific range. Makes the play by being able to get to his feet and set himself. Rather than rushing it, veteran player knows how much time he has. The way he sets his feet, squares up the shoulders, and makes a strong throw to first base.
A good start for the Royals. A good play defensively, and now Torrey Hunter will step to the plate. Torrey Hunter, kind of like the ageless wonder. 286, 16 home runs, 80 RBIs. He looks the same as he did 10 years ago. First pitch in the air, center field. Gerard Dyson is there. And 2 away.
2 batters. First pitch swinging each time. Now you have to deal with this guy, but I think this is the key for the game for James Shields. To get to the middle of the lineup, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, with the bases as clean as you can keep them. Give yourself some wiggle room.
It almost reminds me of the Red Sox when they had Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz. You had to face those guys with nobody on base.
Not to say that it makes it easier because these guys are so dangerous, but it does help you limit the damage when he does put the ball in play.
And the first pitch is down low to Cabrera for ball 1. What a difference a year makes. Last year, Miguel Cabrera was hobbling towards the playoffs. This year, look what he's done in September.
It's amazing that first in Major League Baseball in slugging percentage this month.
On the inside corner, first strike, 1-1.
Right behind him, second in baseball is J.D. Martinez, and 10th is Victor Martinez. That's the kind of damage you're talking about here. 3, 4, 5. Nice run on this 2-seamer by Shields. You can watch the way that Perez's glove has to work. That's the one that can bend back your thumb. That's had that much movement.
The 1-1 from Shields. Missing low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. 95 miles per hour from James Shields.
Yeah, again, pitching out of motion. I mean, typically he should be in the 93, 94 range, but no doubt he's fired up for this one today. Loves these games.
The 2-1 from Shields. Now 3 balls and a strike. A good hitter's count here for Cabrera. Dangerous pitch. Cabrera, this is crazy. I mean, it's been that type of a year for him. Just 23 home runs, 0 home runs in 56 at-bats this year against the Royals.
It's hard to believe. Obviously, this staff, especially the arms out of the bullpen, have strikeout stuff. But see Shields being careful here. The base is empty with Miguel.
The 3-1. Good pitch to hit. Fouls it back. I like that from Shields, though, going right at him on 3-1.
I think he really wants to establish the tone here. You know, he's really known for the changeup, even though this year he hasn't thrown it quite as often as he did last year. You'll definitely see it more to left-handed hitters. But I think he's establishing a tone here with the fastball and going after the hitters.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here, top of the first. The payoff pitch from Shields. And Cabrera stays alive. Again, going at him with the fastball.
And you can see he shook the off-speed pitch to get to the fastball. Doubled it up in a very good spot as well. Down and away. Be very careful, though, about showing him 3 pitches in the same area at the same speed.
The 3-2. Ground ball, shortstop. Escobar gobbles it up. And a 1-2-3 inning worked by James Shields. With a half inning of play, no score, and the Royals coming up. Bell, sometimes you got to live Moss. Alcides Escobar bats lead off. Nori Aoki, who's red hot, bats second. Josh Willingham will DH and bat third. Alex Gordon cleans things up. Salvador Perez bats fifth. Batting sixth is Eric Hosmer. The bottom third of the order, Omar Infante, Mike Moustakas, and Gerard Dyson to face Max Scherzer, who followed up his Cy Young season with another good one this year.
Well, to me, he's a lot like Shields. Really a type A competitor on the mound, and you'll see it when the Royals get runners in scoring position. You'll see the velocity go up. He will save his bullets. Keep an eye on the velocity early.
First pitch to Escobar is up and in for ball one. Alcides Escobar on the season, 275, 3 home runs, 47 RBIs. Don't crowd the plate.
Now that cruising speed for the fastball, low 90s now.
Escobar gets into one to left field. JD Martinez going back, looks up, this one hops the wall. Escobar will stop at second base with a leadoff double.
No, he's not your typical leadoff hitter, but he gets one of those cruising speed fastballs I talked about and hammers it. Then Yost moved him up in the lineup about a week and a half ago, from the bottom of the lineup to the top. And he jumps on this get-me-over fastball from Scherzer.
The 32nd double of the year for Alcides Escobar, and now a runner in scoring position with the hottest hitter on the planet at the plate in Nori Aoki.
One of the best contact hitters in all of baseball. I know he wants to pull the ball and move the runner over here in this situation, but he's so hot, I wouldn't really compromise the at-bat too much by just trying to get it on the ground to second base.
He's 13 for his last 16 at the plate. And he does bunt. Scherzer retires him, sacrifice 1-4, down to third base goes Escobar.
I gotta tell you, I'm not in love with the play. You just mentioned just incredible numbers, how hot, the hottest hitter in all of baseball, giving himself up. That's not bunting for a hit. He squared around early enough to make sure pure sacrifice situation. Fundamental point of view, perfect. Get the runner over to third. Infield comes in, less than 2 outs. Try to take the first run of the game. I get all that. But I want to see Aoki swing the bat.
Well, now it's up to Josh Willingham, who will hit with the infield in and 1 out here in the bottom half of the first.
Now, this is when you keep your eye on the velocity of Max Scherzer. This is when he wants to go find that extra gear.
Starts him off with a breaking ball low and outside for ball 1.
Willingham's a very patient hitter. He's looking for something he can get up to drive into the outfield, a big part of the field. Anything that he can lift.
The 1-0 from Scherzer. Good slider, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Doubled up on the slider here. Willingham reacting to C's fastball and disappears the last 10 feet before the plate.
A leadoff double by Escobar, sacrifice bunt by Aoki, and now Willingham at the plate trying to get this first run in. In there for a strike, 1 and 2. Now what do you come back with here if you're Scherzer?
Well, he's definitely in strikeout mode right here. He doesn't want to concede a run. Pitches way out with a strikeout pitch. To me, it's the slider. He hasn't shown the fastball above the hands yet, but confidence he seems to have early in this slider, to me, is where he goes. And he shook to get to the fastball away.
The 1-2. Fastball misses up high. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not a bad miss, though. I think now you can come back with that slider. First time he showed him the pitch above his hands.
Last night, the Royals 0 for 5 in scoring position, losing 10-1. An early opportunity here in this one. The 2-2. Slider, he went around, says Angel Hernandez. A big strikeout for Max Scherzer.
Yeah, that's the strikeout pitch. That's the wipeout slider. Looks like fastball set up by the previous pitch. And Angel Hernandez from behind the plate makes the call on this. I thought it was a borderline, but the bat did carry across the plate. Now the infield goes back to regular depth.
Alex Gordon, 268, 19 home runs, 70 RBIs. It's early in this game, but this is one of those moments where you need Alex Gordon to step up and get a run if you're the Royals.
There's no doubt about it. Max Scherzer knows that.
First pitch breaking ball misses low and inside for a ball.
2 outs, runners in scoring position this year. Hitters are hitting 192 against Max Scherzer. He loves these situations, but I think especially because you played for 1 run. You gave up an out to move the run over to play for 1. Big at bat right here for Gordon.
Another breaking ball, this time on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's one of the issues with sacrificing with Aoki. You've got a strikeout pitcher on the mound. You know he's going to go for that strikeout the next guy up. Fastball fouled back. Now 1 and 2. Scherzer trying to get out of a jam here in the first.
Just so many options now. You have to cover with 2 strikes on Scherzer. You saw the slider to Willingham. The curveball is more his breaking ball of choice to left-handed hitters. And of course, he's got that power changeup as well.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on at third. The 1-2. Fastball is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going back to Aoki with a sacrifice bunt. Do you think that was called from the dugout or on his own?
He could have done that on his own. There's no way to know for certain, but he clearly wanted to give himself up. I didn't have a problem with bunting for a hit.
The 2-2. Changeup rolled over, foul. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alex Gordon in the month of August started getting people talking about him in the MVP race. Really helped this team out. He could really help his team out right now.
9 home runs in August right here, obviously. Just needs a base hit somewhere.
Scherzer's 2-2. Fastball got him swinging. Max Scherzer gets out of the jam here in the first, leaving a runner at third with back-to-back strikeouts. Strikes out Willingham, strikes out Gordon. We're through 1 scoreless game. For Detroit, scoreless game. And how about the Martinez boys here for Detroit this year? Victor Martinez, JD Martinez. Victor's having a career year. 335, that's second in the American League. A career high 31 home runs. Just 40 strikeouts, and this guy came out of nowhere.
It's an unbelievable story. I think, along with Steve Pearce in Baltimore, two of the better stories of the season. You talk about unexpected power. And this guy right here, you won't see anybody grind out at bats better than Victor Martinez.
A 970 OPS. First pitch, line drive left field. Gordon is there, 1 away. You know, a big question mark coming into this year was when Prince Fielder got dealt, who was going to protect Miguel Cabrera? Well, Victor Martinez has done a heck of a job, and JD Martinez has just supplanted that and backed him up.
You mean you sound surprised? Like, you didn't expect that when he got released by the Astros, signed by the Tigers, and assigned to their minor league camp and then to Toledo. You didn't see that coming?
You know what? I'm sorry. I just didn't see it coming.
Nobody in baseball did, not even Detroit. I mean, Brad Ausmus told us they thought he'd be a good bat off the bench.
First pitch fastball misses down low and outside to J.D. Martinez. I mean, that's remarkable.
Well, it's a great story. I mean, it really began last year. He was hurt, unable to play, and started doing some studying of his swing. Didn't like what he saw.
Fouled back, 1 ball and 1 strike. We've got Ken Rosenthal joining us from down on the field. Ken, what do you have about J.D. Martinez?
Well, Justin, Torrey Hunter telling me yesterday that he recalled a batting practice session at Comerica Park last year. J.D. was with the Astros. Torrey was watching with Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder, and they were watching him hit balls left field, center field, right field, out, all fields, and they wondered, why doesn't this guy play? In that same series, J.D. Martinez hit a home run off Max Scherzer.
Well, now they got him.
Yeah. But you know what? It's a completely different swing. And that's why I said last year when he was hurt at the end of the season, he reevaluated his swing. He really wasn't using his lower half at all. Had a really tremendous uppercut path to the ball. So he started looking at videotape of other hitters and picked out what he liked.
1-2's in the dirt.
And he wouldn't tell me who, but he said he liked one particular hitter, found out who was the coach, personal coach of that hitter, contacted that coach. And again, he said the coach didn't want his name out there. And really began to revamp his swing, went to Venezuela with that completely different swing. And this is the result. He says, I'm a very different hitter than what I was last year. The power was always there, different swing.
2-2, got him with an off-speed pitch. The first strikeout of the game for James Shields.
Yeah, that's that power changeup we see from Shields. Great downward action. Again, you can tell by the movement of the mitt of Sal Perez.
Today's telecast is sponsored by the new Dollar Cravings menu at Taco Bell. Live Moss. 2 outs here, top of the second, no score. The Tigers and the Royals battling for the American League Central. The Tigers with a 1.5 game lead. Nick Castellanos at the plate.
And careful first pitch right here.
Takes the first pitch for a ball low and outside.
The reason I say that, he swings at the first pitch more than anybody in baseball, and with success. He hits .403 when he puts the first pitch into play. After that, he's a .240 hitter.
Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. We talked about the question mark with Prince Fielder being dealt. Who backs up Miguel Cabrera in the lineup? Who protects him? People were shocked when, Castellanos was going to be the opening day third baseman. I don't think a lot of people thought he would be there every day, and he put up these numbers.
I mean, you look at the left side of the infield today, and for most of the season, 2 rookies not playing like rookies.
Ground ball third base. Moustakas is there. Low throw. Hosmer with a nice pick. Eric Hosmer picks up his friend from across the diamond. He's got one of the best gloves at first base in the American League. That's why. We go to the bottom half of the second, no score. Sponsored by The Judge from Warner Brother Pictures, in theaters October 10th. The barbecue here in Kansas City.
Did you have some of that for breakfast?
No, I wish. Oklahoma Joe's my favorite here in Kansas City. Max Scherzer will face Salvador Perez, Eric Hosmer, Omar Infante here in the second. The scoreless game. Perez, 261, 16 home runs, 66 RBIs, a horse behind the plate for the Royals. And the first pitch, sliders in their first strike.
Somebody forgot to kill the music on that pitch.
Thought it was a new theme going on at the ballpark.
Instead of walk-up music, now you get music when you pitch.
Popped up. Brian Holiday in foul territory. Makes the catch, one away. That'll bring up Eric Hosmer. Had that nice play at first base to end the top half of the inning. 266, 8 home runs, 53 RBIs.
Yeah, he's as good on picking up those in-between hops as anybody in baseball. Really, really good hands. Sets himself well. Moustakas just didn't throw that ball with a lot of conviction. He bailed him out.
Strike one.
Watch him really sink into his stance here. Get his eyes closer to the baseball. A little bit of give with the hands. I mean, he made that look easy. Very difficult.
Won the Gold Glove last year at first base for the American League. Who's the best you've ever seen at making those picks?
I'd have to say Keith Hernandez.
Better than Don Mattingly?
Well, I mean, it's so close. I mean, I thought throughout those years they were both the best defensive first baseman in all of baseball. You know, Mattingly didn't get to show it as much in the American League. Hernandez is so good on those bunt plays. I know he could do it all, Keith Hernandez. The Mets changed a lot of their relays to make sure that he handled the ball on the throw coming in from the outfield rather than the second baseman. Such a good thrower as well.
2-2, and Hosmer goes down swinging. Time for a game break. Let's go out to L.A. and check in with Ryan Field. All right, thanks so much. Back here, it's a scoreless game in that NL West. The Dodgers lead the Giants by 3.5 games. Again, talking about what a crazy year it's been in baseball. The Giants got off to a great start, had a huge lead in the NL West. And in no time whatsoever, the Dodgers caught up to them, and now they lead by 3.5.
I've never seen a year like it. When you think about the Giants, the Brewers, the A's, I think maybe the Braves in there, the Blue Jays, all had leads of 6 games or more and lost them.
How about the Tigers? They had leads of 6, 7 games, and they lost it, and now they're back in first.
Seems like multiple times. And we talked to Brad Ausmus about that. He agreed. He can't recall a roller coaster season like this. It's been up and down so much. He said, I've been on teams, you start slow and you play better as the season goes on. But to go back and forth the way we have.
George Brett in attendance for this series. Again, the biggest series here in Kansas City since 1985, as it's 3 balls and a strike to Omar Infante. Standing room only the entire week here at Kauffman Stadium. And these fans have been just thirsting for a series like this. 3-1 off the end of the bat, broken bat. And it's now 3-2. Dave Dombrowski, the general manager of the Tigers. I don't know if there's a better GM in baseball who goes out and makes trades like Dave Dombrowski. Big time trades.
It's amazing, and people questioned him still when he made the Fielder deal. and that turned out really well. And you know, I think both of these teams obviously playing great baseball towns, but for me in Kansas City, I mean, it's been way too long. Saw that 85 championship banner. 29 years. Think about this. No playoff games here in 29 years. In New York, there's been 112 postseason games played in that time.
3-2 fouled away. We talk about 1985. How about we flash back to 1985? Cardinals, Royals. The Royals win it. That was the last pitch in the postseason here in Kansas City, and that's up and in and catches Infante. And that just got away from Scherzer. Not trying to hit him on a 3-2 pitch, and not only that, it looked like a changeup.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking ball, maybe the changeup. Yep, the changeup that just slid out of his hands. You see, he's got that circle grip there, and he talked about this with us. When that pitch comes off his hands, it really comes off every finger. And he said if he doesn't have that pinky that stays on the baseball through release, that's what happens. The ball stays up. To get the ball to turn over and drop, he needs that last finger, the pinky, to stay on the release of the baseball. It just didn't happen right there.
The 6th hit batter of the year for Scherzer. Now Mike Moustakas will bat with 2 outs and a runner on at first here in the second. 214, 15 home runs, and 52 RBIs for Moustakas. First pitch fastball's outside for ball 1.
It's fascinating. I love talking to guys about their changeups. You know, everybody pretty much does their fastballs the same way. Everybody's got a different way to throw the changeup because it really is all about the feel of the pitch. Shields throws it really with his middle finger and index finger. That's very unusual for a pitcher. Scherzer using all 4.
Ground ball, second base. Kinsler. That'll do it here in the second. 1 man left on base. Fox Saturday Baseball will return after these messages in a word from your local Fox station. Excitement, historic performances. Don't miss the 2014 postseason beginning September 30th. Here we are on September 20th this season, winding down, top of the third. Eugenio Suarez will lead things off against James Shields, followed by Brian Holiday and Rajai Davis. The bottom third of the order for the Tigers here in the scoreless game. The middle game of a 3-game series, a critical series for both teams. The first pitch from Shields. Fastball in the inside corner for a strike, and we now welcome in Raul Ibanez, who's joining us from the dugout for the Royals. Raul, thanks for joining us. This is another stint for you here with this team. You signed with the Royals on June the 30th. From that point to now, you've seen a big change in this team. What has been the biggest difference that you've witnessed?
Well, I think that the guys, the ability's always been here, and the talent's always been here, and I think now the belief matches the talent, and the attitude matches the talent, and so I mean, there's such a tremendous amount of ability and natural gifts on this club that now I think collectively the guys they believe that what they're capable of.
Hey, Raul, I thought that was a huge pickup when Kansas City got you here. We know there's not a lot of experience with this team. You're one of only 3 players here with postseason experience. Talk about your role in that regard in terms of letting these guys know what it takes to get to October.
Well, I think that the guys have so much talent, and you got guys like James Shields here as well. He's been there, he's done that, and he's a big game pitcher. And I think that the intensity is always there, the energy level is always there, and at times you have to be right underneath the red line and not overdo it. So these guys have done a tremendous job of doing that, coming up big with big hits, big games. Alex Gordon and Lorenzo Cain and Aoki and all these guys, Hosmer. I mean, all these guys are doing it. Salvi, Eski, and then the bullpen's been phenomenal. And the starting pitching's been great. It's just a really great group of guys that really enjoy being around each other. And like I said, believe in themselves collectively. I think they've always believed in themselves individually, but believing yourself collectively and doing it as a group is huge. And I think that's what's transpired here.
Rajai Davis will step to the plate. Again, we are speaking with Raul Ibanez, top of the 3rd, scoreless game. Brian Holiday with the 1-out single. Raul, you and I believe James Shields addressed this team in a players-only meeting. What did you say to this team, and what did you see as an outsider when you were playing against this team?
I think when you're on as an outsider, I think it was really important to let these guys know how good and how much the other teams respected them and how talented they were, and what sometimes your perception of yourself is different than the perception that others have of you. And I think it was important to let them know that the perception that the league has of them is of this great club, and it's a club that to be feared because of the talent and the ability. I mean, there's so much speed on here. Guys put the ball in play. They get big hits. The pitching staff's phenomenal. They play great defense, and so I think it's important to let them know how good they were and what they look like from the other side.
Since that meeting, the Royals are 35-19, 3rd best in Major League Baseball, behind just the Orioles and your former team, the Angels.
Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal. And I think that's the level of expectations that this club should have on themselves and should expect of themselves. The level of play that they should expect of themselves. They should expect themselves to be for the next few years, to be at the top of the standings and to be in the postseason every year and have an opportunity to compete for the World Series.
Boy, I'd have a meeting every day with those kind of results. You talk about having an impact.
Well, it would probably get redundant and boring after a while.
Hey, you're talking about James Shields. Bring me into his game day mindset. You played with a lot of great pitchers, big game pitchers, of course. And we know how much he likes to have fun. We know how much you guys like to celebrate the wins in the clubhouse after the game with the music and the smoke machine and all that. But give me a little peek into the game day pregame James Shields getting the ball.
Yeah, I think he brought all that over here. He brought that over here, having a great time. But his pregame, this guy's a warrior. I mean, you don't get a nickname like Big Game James, without deserving it. So he loves to be in the moments. He loves to be in the big moments. He wants to pitch in these games, and he produces results. So he's a phenomenal pitcher, a warrior. Every time he takes him out, he's competing his tail off every time he's out there. And he's the type of guy you want next to you, and you want him on your team at all times, because he brings it. And his pregame ritual is as exciting a pregame ritual I've ever seen. The music he plays and his mindset is, it's a very aggressive mindset. So that's the mindset. Produces the results that he does, and his attitude is phenomenal. The guy's a gamer.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The count here to Rajai Davis. Runner on first is Holiday, 1 away. Top of the 3rd inning. Again, we are speaking with Raul Ibanez of the Kansas City Royals. Shields, a long wait, the 2-2. And that's pulled down the line, foul. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Raul, this is your 2nd stint here with the Royals. This place you look out right now, standing room only. Over 100,000 tickets sold for this weekend series. What's the difference that you've seen from the fan base your first time around to now?
Oh, the attitude. I mean, the belief is here. They're excited. They're starved for a winner. And they want to be there. They want to support. It's a great baseball town. Always has been since the days of George Brett and Frank White, and the guys that I personally grew up watching. So, the fan base loves baseball. They love to win. And hopefully we can give them what they deserve.
Well, earlier we were talking about J.D. Martinez, the breakout season he's had. You've had an incredible arc to your own career. I've seen nothing like it. Through age 29, he had 193 hits. Was nearly out of baseball. Here he is playing into his 40s since he turned 30. 1,841 hits. Now, if I were playing with you, Raul, I would ask you this question. So I will anyway. If I'm a young player, I would go up to you and say, how do you do it? How do you keep yourself in baseball that long?
Well, I think the mentality, the passion starts with the passion and the vision and the will to do whatever it takes to succeed. And that means during the off seasons, if that means you go on vacation with your family and you book your vacations around what kind of gym and facilities they have to train, then that's what you do. So you do whatever it takes. You do what's necessary. You constantly improve on your game. You constantly stay open-minded, to stuff that can complement your game and stuff that you can implement. You have to stay open to changing and adapting as you grow and as you age. But I think, the mindset and the will is the most important thing.
A big strikeout there by James Shields on the 8th pitch of the at-bat to get Rajai Davis.
Yeah, it looked like the cutter that just swept away from Rajai. He's especially nasty on right-handed hitters. See that ball just continue to work away from him. So I guess he probably checked out whether there were any good gyms in a place like Fiji, huh?
Well, that was where we went on our honeymoon, actually. but at that point, I just got married. I had to play the part for a minute at least. If my wife knew that right away, she'd probably take off on the first plane.
Hey, Raul, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on the broadcast, and good luck the rest of this season. It's going to be a lot of fun for you guys.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Raul Ibanez taking some time to join us here. We appreciate that. And like you said, I mean, what an incredible arc to his career and how he's stayed in shape and stayed in the game and almost gotten better with age.
I swear, I did not know that's where he went on his honeymoon. Of all the places in the world, they just threw out Fiji. It seemed like the most exotic that would at least likely have some super gym. But yeah, one of the nicest guys in baseball and one of the hardest workers in baseball.
Kinsler, broken back, ground ball left side. Escobar, the long throw across in time to get Kinsler. No runs on a hit, one man left on base. We head to the bottom half of the third, still scoreless here in Kansas City. Tigers and Eric Hosmer of the Royals have been nominated for the Roberto Clemente Award presented by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com and vote now for the player you think deserves this prestigious award, and you'll be entered for a chance to go to the 2014 World Series. Bottom half of the third. It'll be 9-1-2 in the order. Jarrod Dyson, Alcides Escobar, and Nori Aoki to face Max Scherzer. And the first pitch in there for a strike to Dyson. Scherzer at 30 pitches through just about 2 innings. And there with a fastball. No balls and 2 strikes to Dyson, who on the season is batting .267 with a home run and 24 RBIs.
Think about the options in center field today for Ned Yost. Lorenzo Cain, who started last night, hit third. He's on the bench. 0 for 15 lifetime against Max Scherzer. I get that. So you go to a guy in Dyson who's 0 for his last 20, and against Scherzer lifetime, 2 for 16.
In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Dyson, if he can get on base now, you've got basically a second leadoff guy in him with his speed.
There's no question about it. That's really the game the Royals have to play. And that's one thing Max Scherzer does really well, defend the running game.
2-2 fouled back. We'll do it again. Dyson on the season, 35 stolen bases in 42 attempts. You look at him, Escobar on deck, 31 of 36. Aoki, 16 of 23. The 2-2. Pulled by the diving Cabrera into right field. A leadoff single for Dyson. So let's see what the Royals do now with speed on the bases.
This is what the Royals do. This is a team that hits more ground balls than any team in baseball, and they hit the fewest home runs of anybody in baseball. They need to put the ball on the ground and run, and hope sometimes these balls on the ground find holes, as they do right here. I talked about the way that Scherzer holds runners. The way he does it, we'll watch it here. He loves to hold the baseball. And I'm talking about holding it for 3, 4, 5 seconds. Doesn't necessarily have a great pickoff move, although he does have very quick feet. But he likes to disrupt the runner by holding the baseball and having their feet set in virtual cement, waiting for him to throw.
Castellanos is in at third base. And the first pitch to Escobar, taken for a strike. Escobar doubled his first time up to lead off the game for the Royals. Was stranded at third base after Willingham and Gordon struck out to end the inning. And now time is asked for by Escobar, granted by Angel Hernandez. This is what he does.
Yeah, hitters don't like it either. And this is him pregame. He has made this a regular part of his warm-up routine. Hold, hold, hold. You say, why do you have to practice that? Well, pitchers have a natural rhythm. And normally growing up, your natural rhythm is to come set, a beat or two, and go. It's very hard to do what he does, where you need to hold yourself literally for 5 seconds. So what he'll do is he'll practice up to 10 seconds long, so that those 3 or 4 seconds, or 5.
Ripped to left field by Escobar. He's 2 for 2, first and second. Nobody out here in the third for the Royals.
That's the second time we've seen Escobar turn around the fastball. This one just stays out over the plate. And let's see now if a bunt is in order again.
In the first, we saw Escobar the leadoff double, Aoki a sacrifice bunt. And then Willingham and Gordon struck out. Now you have first and second, nobody out. Aoki at the plate again, 13 for his last 16. A prototypical slap hitter. What does he do here? Showing bunt early. Scherzer spins to look at Dyson to see if Aoki would give up anything.
Yeah, and you see now Castellanos is going to go to Scherzer, change the defense here, make sure on the same page. Just what you said about the way he slaps the ball, to me, that's why I want him hitting here. The defense is already compromised. You can see Suarez near the bag at second base. Kinsler's got to be ready to cover first. Cabrera shortened up at first base. Let him find one of those holes.
A "Let's Go Royals" chant here at the K. Aoki pulls the bunt back with a fastball riding inside.
Squaring around, showing bunt. Obviously not close to the plate. Wouldn't be surprised if he swings here. Maybe that was just take all the way, plant a seed in Scherzer's mind that he's going to bunt. And now you sit on fastball up.
Pulls the bunt back again. This time it's a strike, 1-1. 1-1, bunts it again. Scherzer will go to first. Sacrifice 1-4 once again. Down to third base goes Dyson. Second base goes Escobar. And let's see if the Royals can capitalize this time.
Yeah, Scherzer here. It's not a great bunt, but with Dyson running, he doesn't even think about third base. I mean, he's got no shot. He knows it. Normally, as a pitcher, you don't even need a fielder to tell you where to throw the baseball. It's really the bunt and where it is and how hard it is that will tell a pitcher where his play is. But knowing that Dyson is running, Max didn't even think about the option of third base.
Unlike the first time Willingham was up, now with runners on second and third, the infield is back, willing to give up the run for the out.
The difference here, obviously, 2 runners in scoring position. We'll concede 1, but not 2.
First pitch popped up. Foul territory. Cabrera has plenty of room. Makes the catch for the first out. It's out number 2 here. First out of 2 that Scherzer needs to get here to get out of this jam.
Yeah, the breaking ball up. And again, he's trying to hit a fly ball, but this ball continues to work away from him. He's normally a very patient hitter. And in that situation, chasing a breaking ball out of the zone first pitch, this is a team that has shown a lot of anxiety in these situations, and I think Max Scherzer took advantage of it.
You know, we saw just before Mike Moustakas make a bad throw over to first base, got helped out by Hosmer. Last night, Alex Gordon at the plate right now misplayed a ball hit by Miguel Cabrera, something you don't usually see from this Royals team. Gordon swinging at the first pitch, fouls it back into the seats.
And you saw last night as well that final score obviously made this something of a moot point. Billy Butler early in the game with runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs, swinging at a 3-0 pitch, which I didn't have a problem with because he got a fastball over the plate and he missed it, popped it up. Ned Yost is saying, somebody please just find a hole, even if you don't square it up. They're looking for a big hit desperately.
Kansas City 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position in this series. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gordon. They'd love to have George Brett up in this situation.
Pretty good clutch hitter. I don't think they would have shifted on George Brett.
You know you're a pretty good hitter when you have a bar grill named after you. It's called the 390 Club. Check swing, he went around. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, 390, that was his batting average.
That's an exclusive club. That's the changeup there. Perfect location.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There it is. Commemorating that 1980 MVP season for George Brett. The 1-2 from Scherzer. And Gordon stays alive, fouling it out of play down the left field line.
And again, you see that one at 96. Max's ability to go find something extra. And it doesn't matter the inning. You'll see him do this in the 7th and 8th innings as well. If he needs to get the fastball to get him out of trouble, he'll find an extra mile an hour or 2 on it.
I loved how he said, some guys say, you know, take some off. He goes, no, I put some on. Second and third, 2 outs. Another 1-2. Got him swinging again. Scherzer reaches back, gets out of a jam for the second time in 3 innings. Strikeout number 4 on the afternoon. And we've played 3 here in Kansas City, still no score. Is sponsored by T-Mobile and by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Here's to Budweiser, here's to baseball. Top of the 4th, back here in Kansas City, no score. Tigers and Royals, game 2 of this critical 3-game series. James Shields against Max Scherzer. We're joined in the dugout now by last night's winning pitcher for the Tigers, Justin Verlander. Justin, thanks for joining us. Speaking with your manager, Brad Ausmus, before the game. We are having a problem with our headset. We'll be right back to that in a minute. In the meantime, Torrey Hunter will lead things off against James Shields.
It's all right. The Royals had trouble with him last night as well. Couldn't touch him, as you were about to get to.
I was. Torrey Hunter, 0 for 1, flew out to center field his first time up. Came in batting .286, 16 home runs, and 80 RBIs. And the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. All right, so the Royals had a tough time last night. Let's see if we can get a second chance. Justin, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, we got Justin Verlander in the dugout. Justin, speaking with Brad Ausmus before the game, he thought that your start last night was your best outing of the year. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. You know, it was one of those games. It was a big moment, obviously, and I felt good out there. And you know, those guys in the lineup made me a lot more at ease, putting up 10 runs pretty early.
7 1/3, 7 hits, 1 run, no walks, 4 strikeouts in their first strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. What has it been like on this staff? Yourself, Scherzer, Price, Porcello, Sanchez is out, but I mean, this is one heck of a pitching staff.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know, we feed off of one another, we bounce ideas off of one another, we talk about opposing lineups. You know, it's a lot of fun talking with guys of this caliber. And
get up, baby. Gets into one. He listens. It's gone.
No, it's not. Streak continues
with his 17th home run.
I mean, I know you know about Joe DiMaggio, but Justin Verlander is amazing. Every time he gets on the headset, Tigers are scoring runs. I bet you wish you could wear that thing on the mound when you pitch.
Yeah, well, I might just keep this thing on all game.
Torrey and Hunter gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead. Let's see if he comes down the dugout and says to Verlander, "You're keeping that on." So now Miguel Cabrera will bat. 1-0. The unofficial count, we're trying to get all of our stats crew on this, Justin, is that this is now at least the third, maybe fourth time you've been on for an interview and one of your teammates have gone yards.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty good on this thing. You know, I take tips. My teammates want to get me on this thing when they're coming up.
Wow, it just looked like a changeup that ran back over the plate. And Torrey, who's hit most of the year in a run-scoring, run-producing spot in the lineup, told me he loves the 2-hole. Normally, he's not hitting for power out of the 2-hole, but as he showed there, he can ambush you as well.
Well, it's got to be nice knowing you've got this guy batting behind you. You might get some good pitches to hit. Miguel Cabrera rounded out to shortstop his first time up. The 0-2 pitch from Shields, and that is bounced foul. We're speaking with Justin Verlander. Let's see. We heard him say, "Get up." There it is. Justin, how about, you mentioned it last night, a big game, and you seem to thrive on the big stage when the lights are on. What is it about those moments that you like so much?
I don't know. You know, it's something that you dream of as a kid. You know, you dream of meaningful games in September and October, and it's you know, it's a lot of fun to be a part of those. And you know, it's just like I said, what you dream of.
Hey, looking inside of your start last night, Justin, a lot of fastballs last night, very good command. What did you think really was working for you?
Well, you know, you touched on the fastballs. You know, I just kind of got a good feel for it early, and I was able to locate it pretty well. But a good sign was when I missed with it, the balls weren't hit hard. You know, it had late life, and guys weren't squaring up the misses too much, which, you know, I just kept going with it, kept throwing fastballs, and, you know, had good results with it.
Hey, Justin, anything analogous to the end of the season last year where you really fixed some things mechanically and just became lights out late in the season into the postseason?
Yeah, you know, kind of a similar year, just kind of, you know, grinding all year and trying to figure it out. And last night was a big step forward for me. Hopefully just carry that momentum into the rest of the season and hopefully the postseason.
No balls, one strike here to Victor Martinez, who lined out to left field his first time up. Again, we are speaking with Justin Verlander. 151 wins since his rookie year in 2006, the most in Major League Baseball. Breaking ball misses inside. Justin, going back to last night's game, in every game there seems to be a turning point. And Billy Butler, 3-0 count against you, runners in scoring position, and you got him to pop up to, you know, basically first base. How big was that for you to get that out? Yeah,
that was a big turning point, you know, especially after we put up runs early. You want to get your team back in the dugout and swing the bats when they're feeling good about themselves and keep the momentum on your side. And you know, obviously that was a big situation in the game. And you know, it goes back to his fastball. Here it is, hit it. Had a little late life and got him to miss hit it.
2 balls, 1 strike here to Victor Martinez.
Well, speaking of fastballs, we're watching the typical Max Scherzer. Somebody gets in scoring position, you see him dial it up out there. Give us your take of what you see from Max so far.
Yeah, you know, exactly what you're talking about. You know, he gets in, we've seen it all year. He gets in big spots and is able to get a big strikeout or, you know, a weakly hit ball, just like Willingham right there. He's able to go to that extra gear when he needs it, and that's why he's one of the best. You know, you see guys go to another level when it's a big spot in the game, and he's been able to do that all year.
1-0 Detroit leads Kansas City. Justin, we're going over your bio right now. Drafted number 2 overall in the 2004 draft, Rookie of the Year in 06. You go to the World Series that year. The Cy Young and the MVP in 2011. And 5 200-plus strikeout seasons. You've led the league 3 times. When you look back, I mean, I saw you back in the minors in Erie in 2005. When you look back at your career, and obviously you still have a long way to go, but what are you most proud of?
Gosh, that's tough, man. I don't know. You know, there's some great moments. You know, I like to think of team accomplishments, and you know, those 2 Game 5s the last couple of years in Oakland, when my team really needed me, and I was able to step up and pitch well those games. I think those are a couple things I'm most proud of.
The 1-0 pitch outside. Now, one thing we talked about, fastball and velocity, and you talked about movement on your fastball. I'm not saying your fastball is gone, but as guys get older, you lose some velocity. How difficult is that transition to learn to pitch without that 97 or 100 mile per hour fastball?
You know, it's been a little bit of a transition this year. You know, things are a little bit different. I think a lot of that might have had to do with my routine this offseason and not being able to get the strengthening in that I usually do. Hopefully get back this offseason and get back to strong, get back to where I'm used to being before the start of the season. This year you just got to tell yourself to trust it. You still pitch with your fastball. Everything works off of that.
And you still have a pretty good fastball. It's all right there. Hey, Justin, we appreciate you joining us. Good luck the rest of the way in this pennant race.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. It's going to be fun.
Keep on cheering down on the bench, too.
All right, maybe I should just keep the headset on for another minute. JD might get one right here.
He might be the first player to ever actually want to keep the headset on the dugout for these interviews. The 2-2 to JD Martinez in the dirt. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Martinez struck out his first time up. 1-0 here in the 4th on a solo shot by Torrey Hunter leading off the inning.
Well, in a lot of ways for me, Justin Verlander defines this Detroit Tigers team. It seems like when they need to win a game, when they get in crunch time, when he gets in crunch time, they know how to handle the situation.
Martinez strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Shields, but the damage was done by the veteran on this Tigers team. Torrey Hunter leading off. Got a changeup. 402 feet later, the Tigers lead 1-0. Every game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv, game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit MLB.com today. Bottom half of the 4th, Salvador Perez takes the first pitch for a strike for Max Scherzer. 1-0. Tigers on top of the Royals here in Game 2 of this critical 3-game set. The Tigers won last night 10-1 on 19 hits. Perez to third base. Castellanos to long throw, and there's one away. One out now for Eric Hosmer, who struck out his first time up. One of 4 strikeout victims in the game so far for Max Scherzer. But this game has huge playoff implications. You got 2 aces on the hill in Scherzer and Shields. 1-0 Tigers on top. The first pitch to Hosmer. Fouled away. 0-1. Looking at the standings both in the AL Central and in the wild card. You see Detroit has a 1.5 game lead over the Royals in the Central. And the Royals with the Mariners and And the A's, they're all in this hunt for the 2 wild card spots as Hosmer pops out to second.
That's twice now he's been able to jam Hosmer. Just a real good fastball that gets on top of hitters. It's kind of an old school 4-seam fastball.
Isn't that amazing? You have to say old school 4-seam fastball.
You do, because the game now is so much of cutting and running the baseball, especially the fastball, is the combination of movement and velocity. Max, one of the few guys, really doesn't cut the baseball. He's coming at you with gas, especially when he gets it in or above the hands. It's hard to catch up to.
Omar Infante at the plate. First pitch swinging in the air to straightaway center. Plenty of room for Rajai Davis. And that is a quick 1-2-3 inning. Just 5 pitches for Scherzer, needed in the 4th. We're through 4. 1-0 Detroit. Brought to you by Bank of America. Max Scherzer and James Shields going at it here in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Pretty good numbers for both guys so far. The one run, the home run against James Shields by Torrey Hunter.
Yeah, we said at the top, a lot of similarities between these two. The last 2 columns there. No walks and 8 strikeouts combined by these 2 pitchers. Both of them really have the same fundamental basis, pitching off fastball changeup combination.
Castellanos at the plate. Rounded out to third his first time up on a nice play by Hosmer on the back end. And the first pitch is in there for a strike.
Here's the difference, though, when I talk about one thing that is not the same. Check out the release point. With Scherzer, his release point basically at the top of the hat. And with Shields, look at the difference here.
Wow.
Much higher release point. And I think Scherzer creates a lot of difficulties for a hitter.
Castellanos to right field. Nori Aoki backs up. He's there, 1 away.
Shields' release point is a lot more traditional, a high 3/4, creating an angle, downward angle, whereas Scherzer doesn't really create angles with the fastball with the lower release point. But I think because it's a little bit different, there's a little bit of funkiness in that delivery and release point, it's harder to pick up. Not to mention that it's 95, 96.
1 away now for Eugenio Suarez, who flew out to right field his first time up. So there's similarities in their pitching lines, similarities in the pitches they throw. And, oh yeah, they're also both free agents after this year looking to get big-time contracts. And we already know that Max Scherzer had a big-time contract offer on the table this offseason by the Tigers. He turned it down. And he took a gamble and a chance on himself. And Tom, Ken, I think we all agree that gamble is going to pay off for him.
I'm sure Ken probably agrees with me, but he's one of the most confident pitchers I've ever been around. I wasn't surprised, and he's backed it up.
I totally agree with that. And the thing that he has going in his favor going into free agency, he's thrown fewer innings than Shields, fewer innings than John Lester, and a lot fewer than Justin Verlander. People will point to Verlander and say, long-term contracts for pitchers, dangerous. These guys go into decline. That is true. But Max Scherzer's innings, about 750 fewer than Justin Verlander's.
Wow. 2-1 bunt. Did he go? He did not. Says first base umpire Paul Nauer. So 3 balls and a strike here to Suarez. And these are what you're talking about, Kenny, the innings pitched by Scherzer. Approaching, 1,300 or so. Shields almost at 1,900. Suarez swing and a miss. 3-2.
James Shields, right before that pitch, when Suarez wasn't looking, he mentioned to Perez, set up outside, set up outside. Gave him a little flick of the glove there. And boy, he dotted the eye with that fastball.
The 3-2 from Shields. In the air, center field. Dyson is there. 2 outs. Let me ask you this question, because Ken, you brought it up, and I know we've talked about it before, but because of the contract the Tigers gave Verlander, and because his velocity has dipped, I know he's thrown a lot more innings, but as a team, are you now weary of signing that pitcher to a long-term deal because of what you've seen already happen?
To me, I think the market dictates the contract, not the true value of the player. By that I mean, if you sign a player, a pitcher, aging through his 30s at a 7-year contract, you can't possibly think you're going to get 7 years of premium value on that contract. The cost, the acquisition of the player costs you not just money, but years. In a competitive marketplace where you have to bid on players in an open market, you may think, okay, we have Lester, Shields, Scherzer for the next 4 or 5 years, really good years, but it probably will take 6 or 7 to acquire the player.
Totally agree with Tom, and he's right. This is the price of doing business in baseball with these guys. But what the Tigers did by acquiring David Price was protect themselves. They've got Price not just for the rest of this season, but also for next season. So if they lose Scherzer, and they probably have to assume they will at this point, then at least next season they go into the season with Verlander, with Price, and with Rick Porcello.
And Anibal Sanchez. 0-2 to Holiday, and this is inside. And guys, I know there's still the rest of this season, playoffs and all this, but any inkling on what do you think it'll take to sign a guy like Scherzer in the offseason?
It's always so difficult to predict the free agent market. What's fascinating here is that there already is buzz about Lester to the Cubs, Shields to the Red Sox, and we'll see where Scherzer goes.
All right, we could talk about this all day long. We'll have the entire offseason talk about it. But Shields works a 1-2-3 fifth. It's 1-0 Detroit. is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Bottom half of the 5th inning here in Kansas City. It's 1-0 Tigers over the Royals, and now it's time for Pepsi's Real Big Things You Need to Know. When Max Scherzer pitches, the Tigers, the last 2 seasons, usually win 47-16.
I mean, that's just amazing. And I know run support is a large part of that, but there's something to be said about the confidence the team has when it's like a golfer. You see the putts keep going in the hole. All of a sudden, the hole looks bigger. Scherzer on the mound, the wins look easier.
Make it a real big summer with 3 new flavors of Pepsi made with real sugar. 1 ball, no strikes here to Mike Moustakas, who grounded out to second base his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
See Castellanos now, 2 strikes now, doesn't have to honor the bunt. They go into the shift 3 infielders on the right side of the infield.
Changeup is fouled straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't know about you and Ken, but I really hope this shift phenomenon we've experienced this year dies down in the next couple of years.
Well, it's up to the hitters. I mean, if you're Mike Moustakas and you look up on the board and you see a .213 batting average and they're defending only half the field against you, that's a wake-up call.
Fouls it back.
And by that, I mean, you really have to use the entire field. When you're hitting .213, you should be open to any suggestions and ideas. And I'm not saying it's as easy as, okay, today I'm going to hit the ball the other way. But I fully think that next year in spring training camps, it'll be entirely different. Players learning how to bunt, the push bunt, and learning to hit the ball the other way.
Cued off the end of the bat, stays 1-2. I think you bring up a great point, though. I mean, it's one thing if you got, guys who are 280 with 30 home runs and they pull all the time, but 213. You got to get hits. You got to get on base.
Yeah, without much damage, without much power.
Another 1-2 pitch. Low and inside, 2-2.
I know a lot of fans will say at certain points of a game, why doesn't he just bunt? Now, I say that myself a lot too, but it's not that easy, especially if you haven't done it your whole life, to all of a sudden just do it against major league pitching. It's really something you need to work on.
Fouled back again, stays 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Moustakas, leading off in the 5th.
Now, this is a good at bat because you've seen him now take some, I'll call them emergency swings, but shorter hacks at the baseball to get himself to other pitches. Scherzer's been trying to get him out front on breaking stuff. He's been staying back and just getting himself to another pitch.
Bounce foul, stays 2-2. So a good at bat here by Moustakas, leading off in the 5th inning.
At least he's making it work a little bit that last half inning. I mean, I blinked and it was over. 5 pitches.
9th pitch of the at bat coming up here for Moustakas, and really with this Tigers team, the way it's constructed right now, you want to get to the bullpen. Some teams you don't want to get to their bullpen. It's so good. Another foul ball. For instance, these Royals, a phenomenal bullpen. You brought up the Orioles, tremendous bullpen. You'd rather face the starters.
I totally agree. I think the whole idea about getting up the starting pitcher's pitch count, that's fighting the last war. That battle's over with. Now it's about trying to attack that starting pitcher because, as you said, getting a relief pitcher in the game, even the 6th inning, could be a better arm. I mean, every bullpen now is just so deep with power arms. The batting average goes way down against relief pitching. You really do need to put a priority on attacking the starting pitcher and not just getting him out of the game.
Which team started this? Was it, the Yankees with their dynasty with Stanton, Nelson, Rivera, or Rivera to Wetland in '96?
Now you can go all the way back to the early Blue Jays teams with Henke and Ward. The way they shortened the game. Relief pitchers threw more innings back then, faced more batters. Now it's a combination of pitchers. Here in Kansas City, you have Herrera, Davis, and Holland, 3 pitchers. So now you're eating up the last 3 innings, not just the last 6 outs.
12th pitch of this at-bat coming up here between Moustakas and Max Scherzer. Leading off bottom half of the 5th, 1-0 game. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the Tigers, no runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Royals. Another 2-2. Bouncer to shortstop. Suarez, only guy on that side, makes the play for the first out. And with all that shifts, that actually is a 6-3 putout.
Yeah, and that was a great job by Scherzer because he never gave in. Even though Moustakas fouling off pitches left and right, he actually got him outside of the strike zone with a fastball just off the plate. Sometimes the best located pitch is not in the zone, and that's a case of it right there.
One away now for Gerard Dyson, who singled his first time up, was stranded at third base to end the third inning. Shows bunt, pulls it back against the changeup, 1-0. Castellanos is in at third, anticipating the bunt. This Royals team has some serious speed. A guy on the bench, Terrence Gore, maybe the fastest one on the team. Foul back at a play, 1-1. Escobar on deck, 2 for 2 on the day. But depending on how this game turns out, we may very well look back to that first inning. A leadoff double by Escobar, sacrifice bunt by Aoki. Pop foul behind the plate and the bunt attempt here by Dyson. And Scherzer was able to get Willingham and Gordon a strikeout. Then the third, it was first and second, nobody out for this team. And again, a sacrifice bunt. And again, they couldn't get the run.
Watch his left foot here. See it go out of the batter's box?
Yep.
Right here? By rule, he's out. I've never seen an umpire call it. You make contact with the baseball and your foot is completely out of the batter's box. By rule, you're out. And I've asked the umpires about that. Why don't you ever call it? Obviously, he's trying to get himself turned around and run to first base. Never seen it called.
Foul back, stays 1-2. I think you should make it your mission this offseason.
That's a big mission in life.
So talk about it.
Force the foot out of the box rule on
yes. Talk about it incessantly. Write about it. Make sure it gets called next year. Hit well to right field. Going back is Hunter. Hunter turns. This one's off the wall. Dyson can run. He's going to hold up at second with a 1-out double.
Well, 2 bunt attempts and then just turn this one around. Watch this KG veteran here, Torrey Hunter, trying to deke Dyson into thinking that ball was out. He knows that's a double all the way. And watch this guy run. He did have to go into another gear there. I think Torrey got him a little bit. I don't think he'd be on third base, but
so now Dyson's 2 for 2. Escobar is 2 for 2. A base hit here could score Dyson with his speed. Fastball's outside, 1-0. I got to be honest, I'm kind of upset that Dyson had the double there because that means he now has 4 doubles on the year. Prior to that, he had more triples than doubles on the season.
Well, that's just absurd. I've never heard of anything like that. And it was interesting with his speed watching Scherzer doing the hold in the set position as if there were a runner on first because he has to guard against the possibility of Dyson running the third.
Watch out. Aoki got hit in the back off the ricochet of the backstop.
You don't expect the ball to wind up over here off the right-handed bat. As you said, it hits the back of the wall, ricochets, hits him in the lower back.
Maybe that's one way to pull him down.
Or have him bunt
twice. 1-1 here to Escobar. A single and a double on the day. A look back to second. Dyson's not going anywhere.
Well, that's an inside move. The Tigers have picked him off in the series in Detroit with Joe Nathan on the mound.
th pitch of the inning coming up here for Scherzer. After a look back at second. A big hole in that right side with Kinsler trying to hold on Dyson at second base. Off the end of the bat, 1-2.
And we've seen Escobar turn around 2 fastballs today, and Scherzer gets him out in front on the changeup right there. Again, you're talking about a premier strikeout pitcher. He can go back to this changeup, especially if he throws it here. Or his get out of jail card has been that fastball above the hands at 96.
One nothing game, bottom half of the 5th inning. The 1-2. Back up the middle. Kinsler has it go under his glove into center field. Here comes Dyson to tie it up.
It's the Royals game. Ground balls and speed. Watch Kinsler on this ball. This ball should stay in the infield. Just doesn't get down far enough on this ball. I have to believe the speed of both runners influenced him. In other words, he knows you need to field this ball cleanly. Dyson is a threat to score on anything, even if it stays in the infield, not handled cleanly from second base. That's just the ball. He just didn't get down and keep in the infield, even if he didn't have the out order at first base.
And normally he wouldn't have been able to get to that ball, but because he was holding Dyson on at second, he was more up the middle. And if nothing else, you got to keep that ball in the infield. Tie game now. Aoki at the plate.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't a matter of going a long way for the baseball. He got himself in position to get the baseball, just didn't get the glove down.
Alcides Escobar is now 3 for 3 with an RBI. The defense now double play depth with Aoki at the plate. Gerard Dyson is 2 for 2, so that 9-1 hitters are a combined 5 for 5. The rest of the team is 0 for 11.
Saw Max Scherzer snapped his glove when he got that return throw on the pitch out. Typically those are called from the bench. I don't know whether you disagree with the possibility of the steal in this situation. This is the return throw from the catcher. Not happy.
And now Scherzer walking off the mound. These fans back into it. Tie game 1-1, bottom of the 5th inning. Again, we talked about it at the top of this broadcast. This is essentially a must-win game for the Royals, trailing the division by 1.5 games. The long hold by Scherzer. There goes Escobar, hit and run. Nice play by Kinsler. He will get the out at first.
That's a great adjustment by Kinsler. He's the one on the coverage thinking that Aoki is going to hit the ball the other way. So they have the second baseman cover, and he needs to turn around in a hurry, reverse field, and makes a nice play.
Add on, he has to see the ball around the umpire, Vic Carapazza. That's a really good play.
And again, because Scherzer is so tough to run on, I like the play by the Royals to put the hit and run play on rather than the straight steal.
Josh Willingham at the plate, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop out. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Josh Willingham 0 for his last 13 with runners in scoring position. You can hear those noisemakers in the background. They were given out last night. Got to be honest, not a fan of those. The artificial noisemakers.
I thought you were talking about the Tigers' bats last night.
Timeout taken at home plate.
Because that was the disappointment in the game as a fan. Just as a neutral fan, I was looking forward to the crowd getting into the game, and it's like a basketball team getting out to a big lead early, takes the arena out of play. They took the fans out of play last night early.
Another sellout here at Kauffman Stadium for game 2 of this 3-game series. Escobar on at second, had the RBI single. Missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Willingham. Alex Gordon is on deck. There they are. I don't know what's worse, those or the vuvuzelas at the World Cup a few years ago.
Oh, the horns are the worst.
Slider is outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, and just because he has first base open here with Gordon on deck, and his mindset anyway, Max Scherzer, is to be aggressive in these situations. Typically, he trusts his stuff enough. Having a base open normally doesn't factor into his thinking out there. It's usually an aggressive mindset all the time.
The 2-1. Slider again gets him chasing. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Willingham just has not seen this pitch well. The slider, again, very good location on the pitch.
28th pitch of the inning coming. He threw just 5 in the 4th. Again, this all started with that long at bat by Mike Moustakas. A 12-pitch at bat that ended in a ground out to short, but since then a double, an RBI single, and now a ground out. The 2-2. Slider, check swing. Did he go? The appeal to first. Paul Maurer says no, he did not. So 3-2.
Just perfect execution. Just give Willingham credit. That's a very good take because that's the same pitch, just moved off the plate by maybe a ball or 2 width. It's exactly where he wanted to throw it. Almost got the check swing. Now the question is, do you triple up on the slider? I don't like the triple up here because you tend to leave it in the zone on a full count. Rather go fastball.
3-2 goes fastball and freezes Willingham. Scherzer again buckles down with a runner in scoring position, but the Royals do get a run back. They've tied it up at 1 through 5. Gas is sponsored by Bear Back and Body, the official pain reliever of Major League Baseball. And by the Gillette Fusion Pro Glide. Now with FlexBall technology, it's shaving rebuilds. To the 6th we go here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, all tied up at 1. And there's pitcher's duel between James Shields and Max Scherzer. Rajay Davis will lead things off here in the 6th. It'll be 9-1-2, Davis, Kinsler, and Hunter against Shields. Rajai Davis struck out his first time up, one of 5 strikeout victims for Shields in the game. He's got 5 through 5. Scherzer has 5 through 5. And the first pitch in there for a strike to Davis. Rajai Davis has seen a lot more time in center field here for the Tigers ever since the trade to get David Price. Austin Jackson dealt away. Nice play by Shields. One away.
Well, we're seeing 2 aces pitching at the top of the game, and especially in tough situations. This at bat to Willingham is huge for me. Go ahead and run at second base. Gets ahead here. Now he's going to attack with the slider. This is an excellent pitch, executed perfectly. This one just off the plate, but on a full count, he doesn't throw it again. The difference to me is that with a full count, you don't want to walk the batter. You tend more to throw the pitch in the zone with the slider, which is a better pitch out of the zone. Went to the fastball and froze Willingham.
Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball, presents the walk-off. Great walk-offs are waiting. FoxSports.com/Budweiser. Grab some buds. Ian Kinsler at the plate takes the first pitch for a ball. But we talked about Scherzer and what he does with men in scoring position, with men on base. The Royals today 1 for 6 with 4 strikeouts.
And again, I mean, you see him cruising along at 93, 94, and then it's 96 when he needs it. Throughout the game, whenever there's a tough situation. I've seen too many pitchers who go back to that slider and just because there's 3-ball count think I need to throw this in the zone, and that's when you hang it.
Kinsler takes a 2-0 pitch, borderline for a strike, 2-1. Kinsler had the chance to keep that ball in the infield off the bat of Escobar. And now he chased the fastball, fouls it back 2-2. And that ball got under his glove and allowed Dyson to score.
About expanding your zone to try to hit one out. He had a good look at that and a good rip at it. He's a good high ball hitter. Just couldn't, it was a little too high for him, that one. Couldn't catch up to it.
A 2-2 from Shields. Again goes up top, and again Kinsler fouls it back.
That's the old Jim Palmer theory now. Might as well throw a little bit higher. Climb that ladder. You don't see a lot of pitchers do that.
You don't see a lot of hitters able to foul that back.
That's shoulder height right there. I'm not sure you can go much higher and get a swing.
Kinsler to left field. Coming in is Gordon. 2 away. Up walks Torrey Hunter. Hunter responsible for the only run so far for the Tigers. A solo shot his last time up.
Now, I was joking with Torrey last night, you know, thinking out loud. He's 38 years old. How many guys that age are playing regularly in the outfield in the big leagues today? Just don't see too many of them. Besides that, being productive. 80th RBI last night.
Torrey Hunter is one of the great guys in all of baseball, and we were talking to him yesterday, and he said he grew up a football fan. Football was his passion. The only reason why he played baseball, there were 2. His grandpa and Andre Dawson. He would come home and watch Andre Dawson hoping to hit a home run. He said, I hit like him. I had a straight front leg. I grew my hair like him. And we didn't believe him, right? 1 ball, 1 strike here to Torrey. Well, he actually proved to us that he had the haircut like Andre Dawson. Fouls it back. This is it. Torrey Hunter. How awesome is that? This is off his Instagram account. And he didn't believe us that we would actually find it, A, and B, show it. Well, guess what, Torrey? We keep our word. Iron outside, 2-2.
Baby Hawk. Yeah, he hit like him. Grew his hair like him. So he'd come home from school every day at 2:45, and the Cubs would be in the 6th or 7th inning. See if the Hawk could hit another home run at Wrigley. 1987.
Just missing outside with a fastball, 3-2.
It's a good take right here. Pitch just off the plate.
So I had to look up how many outfielders this old have had 80 RBIs. It's actually only happened 20 other times in baseball history. The last one to do it 3 years ago, Raul Ibanez, another ageless one.
It's pretty impressive. The 3-2 pitch. Down the right field line, slicing out of play. I also thought it was pretty cool what he said. Each time he was a free agent, he signed quickly. He wanted over and done with, wanted to be happy. He signed with the Angels. He left money on the table. He signed here with the Tigers for 2 years. He'll be a free agent after this year. Let's see what he does after then. 3-2, line to right field. Another hit for Hunter. He's now 2 for 3.
A nice piece of hitting by Hunter. We talked about the 2-hole. He's really shortened up his stroke and had put it in play. I mean, that's an excellent pitch by Shields. 95 on the block, down and away. Look at the head stay on the baseball. There's no doubt about it. He told us he's going to keep playing.
He's got to keep in shape to keep up with his kids who play football in college. Runner on first, now 2 outs for Miguel Cabrera, who's 0 for 2. Struck out his last time up, and a ground out to short. Big swing and a miss. 0-1.
We talked about the Tigers' aggressiveness. This is one of their most aggressive hitters. Again, pitch out of the zone. Cutter left up. Actually was up enough to get Cabrera to swing under it.
Outside with a fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. I've always wondered what it must feel like for a pitcher to face a guy like Cabrera when he's hot.
Oh. And the way he is now, I'm not sure there's anybody hotter in the big leagues right now. And Shields, long history against Miggy. It's their 55th at bat. I don't think it gets any easier. I think what makes Miguel Cabrera so difficult to pitch to is that even when you're trying to pitch around him, he can square up bad pitches and he'll swing at them. Barry Bonds would wait for something that was in his zone and would not go out of it. Miguel Cabrera can take a pitcher's pitch in or out of the zone and square it up.
2-1. Fouled off the mask of Salvador Perez. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He had a good rip at this pitch right here. The slider stayed up, trying to go the other way.
That was actually off the shoulder of Perez. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man on first is Hunter in this 1-1 ball game, top of the 6th. In the air, center field. Dyson waits for it. And that'll do it here in the 6th. No runs on a hit, 1 man left on. We're through 5.5, tied at 1. 12 showdown as number 4 Oklahoma takes on West Virginia. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Bottom half of the 6th inning here, 1-1 ball game. Tigers and Royals, game 2 of this 3-game series. Justin Kutcher alongside Tom Verducci. And Tom, we thought we'd have a pitcher's duel. We do, between Scherzer and Shields.
Hey, how many things in life are better than advertised? You know, 2 aces going at it next to last Saturday of the season. Tie game into the 6th inning. I really believe you feel it early on. It's a game in which any one pitch can turn a game. And at this point, with the standings the way they are, any one pitch can turn the division title.
Alex Gordon will lead things off. Check swing, foul ball. No balls and 1 strike to Gordon, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. One run on 3 hits and no errors for the Tigers. The 1 run came on Torrey Hunter's solo home run. Outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 run on 5 hits and no errors for the Royals. They got that run, the RBI single by Alcides Escobar in the 5th inning. Outside with a fastball. Now 2 balls and a strike. Again, this game of uber importance, especially for the Royals, trailing by a 1.5 games in the AL Central to these Tigers. Two-one changeup in their first strike, 2-2. And coming into the series, I don't know about you, but for me, I thought the Royals have to take 2 of 3. That was my thought. What about you?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a must-have to, but, you know, listen, they've had a tough time with Detroit the whole year. 5-12 against Detroit. It has not been easy. And I talked about each pitch being important. It's a huge one right here. And obviously, Max is a guy who doesn't walk a lot of batters, especially the leadoff innings. I'll guess it's time for the challenge fastball right here.
There is the fastball, spoiled. Well, on Monday, we have to go back to August 31st because Lonnie Chisenhall put the Indians up 4-2 at that point of the game when the rains came. And because of that, the Indians and the Royals will have to continue that game on Monday. A ground ball to first. Cabrera will take it to the bag himself for the first out. So now on Monday, they have to resume that game. In the bottom of the 10th inning, the Royals trailing 4-2. That's the half-game discrepancy in the standings. So really, when you look at it, unless the Royals can mount that comeback in that bottom half of the 10th while playing in Cleveland, they lose that extra half a game. And so now you got to, let's say, for instance, right now they're 2 games back.
Yeah, you almost have to assume that that loss, you know, that doesn't show up in the standings now is there waiting for them. Of course, they will get another chance to bat, as you said, hitting as the home team in Cleveland.
Salvador Perez to right center. That's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Davis. A 1-out single for Perez.
He hit this ball just poorly enough for it to drop in. By that I mean just didn't barrel it up, but got enough of it. See, Davis just doesn't have a chance to get to this one. Make your pitch, get poor contact. Result is a base hit.
Again, talking about, you know, that game on Monday they have to resume. The rest of the season for these teams, after tomorrow, the Royals will go on the road, finish at Cleveland with 3 there and then 4 in Chicago against the White Sox. And the Tigers will finish at home with 3 against the White Sox and 4 against the Twins. The first pitch to Hosmer is low and outside for ball 1. Now the one good omen for this Royals team, the Twins have given the Tigers fits this year.
Yeah, I've never liked to play that strength of schedule game. Everybody's dangerous this time of year, especially expanded rosters.
Hosmer rips one to right center field. Perez to third. Hunter with a slight bobble. Second and third. 1 out here for the Royals.
And you
Saw Scherzer go to that fastball grip. Surprised he left it over the plate. Both times against Hosmer, he's chewed him up on fastballs inside. This is the pitch where Eric likes the baseball. Out over the plate, extend the arms. He can hammer that pitch as well as anybody. And give him credit out of the box running hard. The slight bobble winds up with a 90-foot advance for Eric Hosmer, which takes the double play out of order.
A big hit by Hosmer. His 32nd double of the season, second and third. One out for Omar Infante. The Royals 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position in 4 strikeouts against Scherzer this afternoon.
So now they have a good contact hitter at the plate with the infield back in the middle.
First pitch sliders low and outside. This is what these fans were waiting for. Out in front of that slider, 1-1.
It's just great execution. The change-up, breaking ball, moving away from Infante. Thought he was seeing a 1-0 fastball.
The Royals have had opportunities.
Back to the change.
Down low, 2-1. Career high in RBIs for Omar Infante this season. He's looking to add to that right now. The 2-1 from Scherzer. Line drive, second base caught by Kinsler. Back to the bag is Hosmer, and it's thrown away. Salvador Perez comes in to score. Hosmer goes to third. One of those where you're thinking, just keep it in your back pocket.
Yeah, there's no out in order here at second base. I'm not sure what happened on the exchange, but the throw should not have occurred. Suarez just really wasn't close enough to the bag to double up Hosmer. By the time he gets there, there's really not a play, not an out in order. And it looked like Suarez just kind of lost sight of the baseball.
It's going to be an E6 against Suarez. Brad Ausmus is out to speak with Larry Vanover.
Yeah, I think he wants to make sure that did Perez go back and tag up on the line drive? Did he retouch the base after the ball was caught? Watch the runner on third, does the right thing, freezes on the line drive, goes back.
Oh,
did he touch the base?
Let's see, this is going to be the best angle.
And the answer
wow.
is no.
Wow.
Now the umpires will get together. They'll ask, did anybody see it? Did you see the retouch or not? Anybody have a real good clear look at this? Somebody was alert in that Detroit dugout. Here's the play again.
So
here's on the line drive. Does he retouch the base? The answer is no.
So this year in Major League Baseball, obviously we have replay for the first time. Well, guess what? If you look at the manager challenge, they can challenge a base running play, touching a base. It requires an appeal before the challenge. Ned Yost looking on.
Obviously, they have not gone through an official appeal where the pitcher will throw the ball to third, step on the base. This is more asking the umpires to get together. Old school variety, pre-replay.
So again, Ausmus and Vanover speaking things over. And we are going to go to a replay. And this is going to turn out to be one of the strangest happenings that we've seen yet this year. First of all, the play from Kinsler to throw it to Suarez when it wasn't necessary.
It wasn't necessary. Suarez was a little bit careless. And once the ball gets away, Perez, who is on his way back to the base, does not retouch the base and runs home. Obviously, on a caught ball in the air, he does need to re-tag the base.
They're showing the replay up on the Jumbotron here at the stadium, and you kind of heard a groan from the crowd for the reason because we showed you. He never touched the base. Talk about a incredible change in momentum in this game. You think now the Royals have a one-run lead?
They just showed it again on the big board here. These fans, they're great baseball fans. They groaned. You're right. An audible groan when they saw the replay showing Perez not retouching
Look at
the
this.
base.
The Tigers outfielders were watching. They're walking off the field. That's how confident they are.
Well, Max Scherzer hasn't thrown a pitch during this long delay. And I'm hoping he doesn't have to throw another one this inning. Now he's going to just play catch.
The umpires all going to be called together by the crew chief Larry Vanover.
It's the first time I've seen this, where they had the headsets on, obviously heard something from New York, and didn't make a ruling, and now getting together to make a ruling.
Can we bring in Mike Pereira for this?
How about Henry Kissinger? You know it's a sticky situation when the umpires themselves are taking this long to figure out, A, is this reviewable? B, what do we do?
I'm confused again. If we're looking at a reviewable plays sheet, base running, timing plays, touching a base, passing runners, those are reviewable for the manager challenge. Unless we didn't have the appeal first, and now they are going to call him out. Of course, here comes Ned Yost.
It seemed clear cut to me that the runner should be out based on the not retouching of the base. I'm not sure why all the confusion, why it did take so long, but I don't think there's any doubt that he did not retouch the base. And this is obviously a long explanation that Larry Vanover is giving to Ned Yost.
Well, let me ask this question. Did they ever throw over to third base for the out?
No, they never issued the standard appeal of a missed base. They just asked if any of the umpire had seen it and then asked for the replay in New York. That could be Ned Yost's argument that an appeal play was never even made.
The craziness continues. Scherzer, he's out. Yep, we go to the 7th. We're tied at 1 here in Kansas City. We're back here in Kansas City after the craziness of the 6th inning. Victor Martinez took the first pitch for a strike. Leading off here against James Shields, tie game 1-1. Now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. But Tom, Kenny, I think we all agree, I've never seen that before. And my one question is, was there ever an appeal to third base to say he was out and then review it?
No, if I'm Ned Yost, I actually would protest the game on those grounds, because I don't think the rule was applied properly. We have some of the directives about what a manager can challenge, and it does include touching a base. You see
Martinez pops one up in a shallow left. Here comes Gordon, and making the catch is Dyson for the first out.
But it does require that the manager or the team appeal before the challenge. As you see the pop up here, center fielder has to take over, even though Escobar's calling. Center fielder has the right of way. And I think that would be the argument on the Kansas City side. How can you rule that he did not tack up when no official appeal was made? And don't forget, when appeal is made, the ball is a live ball that is in play. It's not just, hey, we think he missed the base. You actually have to step off the rubber, throw the ball to the base you think was not touched, and then wait for the ruling. That's a live ball in play. That never occurred, and yet we went to challenge.
JD Martinez rips one to left field. Takes a big turn, but he'll stop at first with a 1-out single. Ken, you're down there in the dugout. What have you heard? What have you seen?
Well, all of Tom's points are valid, and they are questions that need to be asked. But what I'm hearing down by the Royals dugout is that they are not upset with this. They know Perez never went back, never got near the bag. That is why they basically said, okay, play is what it is.
I get it. I mean, there's no question he didn't go back and re-tag. But how do you call someone out on appeal when there was no appeal?
One out. Here's Nick Castellanos with a runner on at first base.
I always thought that was one of the weirder things in baseball. Talking about quirks of the game.
Yeah.
Where an umpire can see a play that was not executed properly or against the rules, and he won't call it unless the team brings it to his attention.
Castellanos 0 for 2. A ground out and a fly out.
In this case, I'm not sure the 4 umpires on the field saw it anyway. We had to go to New York for the replay.
First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike, and give a lot of credit to the Tigers bench for noticing that.
Yeah, I mean, it should be standard procedure that people on the bench always be watching, even on routine doubles, extra base hits, just making sure every base is touched.
What do you think? Happiest guy in the ballpark, Suarez, right now? Kinsler?
No, I'd say Suarez just was really careless. I could say that Kinsler really didn't have the out in order. At the same time, a catchable throw, just got a little careless. It looked like a Kansas City lead dissolves into still a tie game.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1-1 ball game here in the 7th inning. Big swing and miss by Castellanos. 1-2.
Kind of a backup cutter inside, comes back over the plate, over the hands of Castellanos. He likes to shoot the ball the other way. Tries to get inside the baseball as much as he can.
One, two, fouled back, staying alive. The buzz right now in the ballpark, everyone's kind of still in shock about what just happened. They're thinking, like we're thinking, that was incredibly weird.
That's why, I've always argued since we started this system, we need to inform the fans better. When you have a play like that, I think part of the buzz is confusion. What the heck just happened?
1-2, Castellanos foul tip into the middle of Perez for the second out and strikeout for number 6. So we were talking about, did he ever appeal? Did he ever throw over to third base? And watch Max Scherzer here. Our guys in the truck found this. He does go through the official appeal process. And there you have it.
Yeah, and it does look like time is in. You wait till time is back in, on the rubber, batter in the box, step off and throw over. Just add me to another one in the crowd confused about what happened.
2 outs now for Eugenio Suarez. 0 for 2, a fly out to right, a fly out to center. And the first pitch fastball is outside for a ball. .95 pitches on the day for Shields. The guy nicknamed Big Game James. Missing outside, 2-0. James Shields acquired a couple years ago along with Wade Davis for Will Myers. Low and outside, 3 balls and no strikes. They acquired him because of games like these, being that force, that workhorse, and a guy that can depend on. Look what he's done. The most innings pitched since 2007. He was our T-Mobile Game Changer, official sponsor of Game Changers.
Those last couple of pitches, the first time I've seen him get out of his delivery, and for the first time, the bullpen will see some action.
And a 4-pitch walk issued to Suarez, the first walk of the game issued by either pitcher. First and second, 2 outs now for Brian Holiday.
Yeah, this is a good time for Sal Perez to go to the mound, not just buy time for the bullpen, just to make sure that Shields takes his time, reboots the system, and gets back on point.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here for Holiday. The pinch hitter is going to be Tyler Collins. We've also got action in the bullpen. Kelvin Herrera warming up. That'll bring out Dave Violent to give Herrera a chance to throw some extra pitches. First and second, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. 1-1 ball game. The Tigers won last night 10-1, 10 runs on 19 hits. They've got 1 run on 4 hits so far today. Shields has struck out 6, walked 1. And he has to face the pinch hitter in Tyler Collins. Collins on the season 5 for 19 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Martinez, the runner at second. First pitch way out in front of that was Collins.
Yeah, one of the best changeups he's thrown today. Look at the action on that ball, just diving down out of the zone. Pinch hitters like to swing early. First thing they see sitting on fastball. James Shields countered it.
100th pitch of the game coming up here for Shields. In the dirt, gets away from Perez. Both men advance a base. Martinez to third, Suarez to second. Wild pitch charge to Shields.
Like another change. And that baseball just hits really the side of Perez. Looked like he was squared up. It kind of hit him in the ribs on the side, and therefore it banked off to the right.
Martinez now at third, Suarez at second. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tyler Collins, the pinch hitter for Brian Holiday. Back up the middle, base hit. 1 run scores, being held at third is Suarez, and Collins comes through with a pinch hit RBI single.
Went off speed again. Watch Collins go down and get this one. Oh, that's a nice simple swing. Really didn't try to do too much with that at all. Watch the swing here. Nice short abbreviated follow through, but staying on the baseball, down and away. And not out of it yet.
Collins comes through once again as a pinch hitter. Now 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs as a pinch hitter this season. Rajai Davis at the plate. Runners on the corner. Still 2 outs here in the 7th. And it's amazing. This place was really loud about 20 minutes ago when it looked like the Royals had taken the lead. Instead, the review. Perez was called out after never going back to the base to tag out following the appeal. And now the Tigers strike back a 2-out rally. And a pinch hit RBI single by Tyler Collins has given them the 1-run lead. Little flare to right field. Aoki coming in, has to play on a bounce. RBI single for Davis, and it's now 3-1 Tigers. You think about this as Ned Yost comes out to make the pitching change. James Shields gave up a 1-out single to Martinez, struck out Castellanos, and it was a 4-pitch walk to Eugenio Suarez, and that's to be the end of the day for Shields. Top of the 7th inning, 2 runs in, 2 outs, and it's 3-1 Detroit as Herrera is coming in for the Royals. Game, Kelvin Herrera, who has been phenomenal for these Royals, 3-3, a 1.55 ERA. The last time he pitched, he had his string of 31 innings without allowing a run snapped. That was a streak that went all the way back to June 24th against the Dodgers. And that was on Tuesday. So he'll come in to face Ian Kinsler with runners on at first and second, 2 outs in the 7th, trying to keep this a 2-run game.
Well, you know you've got a good fastball when you throw a 90-mile-per-hour changeup, which is what Herrera has. His job here is keep this game at 3-1.
And the first pitch fastball misses for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Kinsler is 0 for 3, 2 ground outs, 1 to second, 1 to short, and a fly out to left. James Shields, 6 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. That 1 walk proved costly and 6 strikeouts, and now he can just watch. Outside with a fastball, 2-0.
Yeah, it happened in a hurry for him. You mentioned the 4-pitch walks. First time I really saw him get outside of his delivery. But then after that, give Collins credit to go down and get a changeup for the base hit with a really good swing on the baseball. And then Rajai Davis kind of fought off a fastball and just found grass in right field. 2 good pitches by Shields, just not good enough.
2-0, ground ball to third. Moustakas will throw across the diamond to end the inning. 2 runs in the inning, though, for the Tigers. It's stretch time in KC. Detroit leading 3-1. Catcher into the game here for the Tigers is James McCann. Takes over for Brian Holiday, but let's go back to the turning point of this game. This was in the last inning, the 6th inning, the line out by Omar Infante to second. Kinsler threw it to Suarez covering, threw it away, Perez scored. But then the Tigers said, wait a minute, Perez never got back to the bag. So Larry Vanover, he was speaking with Brad Ausmus. Max Scherzer appealed to third base, and he says safe.
Well, no call, actually. He didn't call him out on the appeal.
And we've got some umpire sound that we'll play here in a minute. Moustakas leading off, takes the first pitch. This is the proper appeal. You can see Scherzer step off the rubber, throw to third, and
there is the safe
call. There is a safe call.
And the sound we picked up and share with you was very interesting. We're all being educated about this system as we go.
1 ball, 1 strike to Moustakas. It was Moustakas who, his last time up in the 5th inning, had that 12-pitch at bat, which ended in a ground out to shortstop. But that started the inning. A double by Dyson, RBI single by Escobar. Inside, nearly catch the jersey. 2 balls and a strike. The bullpen right now is quiet for the Tigers. And rightfully so. Ride Scherzer right now. Changeup is outside. Now 3-1.
And once again, they're telling Moustakas, if you want to bunt, go ahead. We'll give you a base hit and bring the tying run to the plate. Obviously, it's just not part of Mike's game at this point.
Ball 4. All right, so this is a sound we were telling you about with the umpires getting together over that play.
Tag ups are not viewable. Correct. Okay, so we got what we got. All right.
Did you just see that? He did not go back.
Rusty even said it.
All right, so I think I need to call a crew consultation here then and change the call.
Go ahead.
All right.
All right, so you heard Larry Vanover say he's got to call a crew consultation. He has to change the call because he did say it was safe originally. For more on this, let's check back in with Ken Rosenthal.
Okay, Justin, I checked with baseball, and here's the statement I got from New York. The play was not reviewable. The on-field umpire was told that the play was not reviewable. He was given no additional information except that.
All right, so the umpires got together, and they said that it was, in fact, they saw that he did not touch the base, and that's why they changed the call.
And you saw the original call. Larry Vanover said safe. And what we're hearing is that upon consultation with the umpires, he reversed his call, not the information from New York.
Gerard Dyson at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a strike. So here we are, now in a 2-run game. Leadoff walk to Mike Moustakas. Dyson is 2 for 2, a single, a double, and a run scored. Since they're down by 2, no need to bunt right here. Still in on the grass at third base is Castellanos. Phil Koch and Joakim Soria begin to throw out in the bullpen for the Tigers. Low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now it's time to get that bullpen busy. That leadoff walk, that'll set off alarms in a dugout, especially with a guy like Max Scherzer.
His first walk of the game, he has hit about it. Inside, now 2 balls and a strike. Remember, it was a walk issued by Shields. That kind of opened the floodgates when he walked Suarez on 4 pitches. Pinch hitter Tyler Collins followed with an RBI single. Wade Davis, the 8th inning guy for the Royals, up in the bullpen for Kansas City. A look at the runner at first. Moustakas, not a real threat to go, has not attempted a stolen base on the season.
Yeah, if I'm the middle infielders here for Detroit, I'm thinking I don't want to compromise my range to try for a double play against the guy who's so fast. Defend 1 out rather than try to get 2.
2-1, fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom half of the 7th inning here in Kansas City. Game 2 of this critical 3-game series. The Tigers won last night 10-1. They lead here today 3-1. Two down the left field line, foul. The long hold by Scherzer. The 2-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner at the knees. Strikeout number 6 for Scherzer.
It looked like he wanted to go away and just pulled it back over the plate and gets the call from Angel Hernandez. A lot of times when the catcher has to reach back, it might influence negatively the umpire's call. In this case, over the plate, gets the call.
Alcides Escobar has had himself a ball game 3 for 3. A double, 2 singles, and RBI. Escobar pops one up, headed towards the line is Martinez. JD Martinez makes the catch. 2 outs here. Today's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile. Also, it's sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Here's to Budweiser. Here's to baseball.
I talked all game about Max Scherzer finding an extra gear. In his career, when he gets over 100 pitches, batters are hitting 186. Wow. This year, it's 198. I mean, that's crazy. Getting over 100 pitches. And a guy who's tough to hit in the first place gets even tougher.
And if you look at his starts this year, only twice has he not reached 100 pitches. Nori Aoki at the plate. 2 away in the inning. He takes the first pitch for a strike.
How about these numbers? This season, late in the game, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, 172 average, a 1.40 ERA, and that last number, 1 home run. Supposedly, when your stuff is declining, he gets tougher.
Fastball in the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes to Aoki.
Just look at the body language on the mound. And he's saying, this is my game. You talk about executing pitches after the leadoff walk. Perfect placement on the black, down and away.
Aoki entered this game 13 for his last 16. Sacrifice bunts his first 2 times up. A ground out to second his last time up. 0-2 is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You can see and you can hear Scherzer trying to reach back for something extra there.
That's the sounds of the game right there.
The runner goes in the dirt. McCann will keep it. A stolen base for Mike Moustakas, his first of the year.
And Max is one of the rare pitchers in today's game. Really almost never pitches out of the slide step. One reason why he holds the ball so long. Again, to execute his pitches, he really relies on that leg kick. He knows he's just one more pitch away from getting out of this inning.
The 2-2 to Aoki. Fouled back, stays 2-2. Just to elaborate on what you were talking about before. Phenomenal numbers for Max Scherzer when getting over 100 pitches, but now facing Aoki with a runner in scoring position. Aoki 7 for 12 with runners in scoring position this month. Trying to make it a 1-run ball game. Another 2-2. Ground ball to short. One hopper for Suarez. And that'll do it. We are through 7 here in Kansas City. Max Scherzer and the Tigers lead the Royals 3-1. to end the 7th, then gets the high fives from his teammates as he walks into the dugout. It appears as if his day is done. Jabba Chamberlain is throwing out there in the bullpen for the Tigers.
I think starting pitchers, they know, they have an inner clock that's been around this long. When the tank is empty, when it's your last hitter. Just got the feeling that Scherzer, that inning, exactly what he was doing, emptying the tank.
With that grunt, trying to reach back. He did his job for sure.
And we could hear it from up here.
Yeah.
That was not enhanced audio.
Ground ball, Moustakas gets to his feet, throws across, picked out by Hosmer again. Nice play by the corner infielders.
He called it on both sides here on this play. This is more than a step and a dive. This is a couple of steps and a dive, the full extension. And once again, you get in the area of first base. This guy right here, he's going to pick it.
Such relaxed hands at first base.
Very relaxed. You see him, he always gets the better hop, or at least tries to. That time he caught the ball a little bit behind him. You saw him catch one in front of him.
Now Cabrera steps in, takes that first pitch fastball inside at 99. One of the reasons we heard earlier from Raul Ibanez about how teams don't like facing these Royals. The speed, they'll take the extra base, they play good defense. And then this bullpen. Right back up the middle, off the glove of Herrera. Moustakas lost one over to first base, and let's see if Herrera's all right. 1-5-3 on the putout. That was a rocket back at him.
As hard as he throws, it came back even harder. Scary because of the way he finishes. He's not square to the plate. It looked like it got him. You see him right there at the left wrist hand area. You see this with a lot of high velocity guys. Watch the finish. They put so much into the delivery, they really have no way of defending themselves.
It looks like he's saying he's all right. Gonna throw a couple of warm-up tosses, make sure he is okay.
I'd be checking the heartbeat as well as the hand. As scary as that was. One pitch, he's good to go.
Wade Davis is throwing out there in the bullpen. And Jabba Chamberlain throwing for the Tigers. 2 outs, bases empty for Victor Martinez. 0 for 3 in the ball game. A line out to left, a pop out to third, and a fly out to center. And Scherzer getting the handshakes and the hugs from his teammates.
That was really interesting to me watching him at the end of that inning coming into the dugout. I think he knew he was out before the pitching coach knew he was out.
Top of the 8th, 3-1. Tigers lead the Royals. They're trying to increase their lead in this division to 2.5 games with a victory.
Here it is. No one came up to him, first of all. He was the one who went up to Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones was up on the railing, and Max tapped him on the shoulder and basically said, hey, can I have a minute with you? I think I'm done. Normally the pitching coach will come over and say, how you feeling? Or, hey, we're going to make a move. This time Max said, I need to talk to you. I just emptied it out there. I got nothing left.
He was trying to get the game done before 3 o'clock Eastern time so he could watch his Missouri Tigers play Indiana.
Yeah, I'm sure that was in his thought process.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Martinez.
Now this is where Martinez becomes dangerous. The average American League hitter hits .181 with 2 strikes. Victor Martinez hits .330. That's just ridiculous. This game is not that easy.
Omar Infante playing shallow right field. Check swing. Did he go? The appeal to third. He did not, says Larry Vanover.
Here's another amazing number about this guy as he barely holds up here. You talk about knowing the strike zone. Since last May, I'm talking about 2015, he's been called out on strikes only 7 times in more than 1,000 plate appearances. 7 strikeout lookings in a year and a half.
So you're saying he's got a good eye?
If I'm the umpire, I'm intimidated. Like Ted Williams, if he doesn't swing, it must be a ball.
Two, spray to left, foul. 31 home runs, 40 strikeouts for Victor Martinez. Jabba Chamberlain out there in the bullpen getting loose for the Tigers. Those are like throwback numbers for Victor Martinez. You don't hear of that anymore.
It's like Joe DiMaggio numbers. Really, if you think about his strikeout rate, such a low rate with 30 homers, 100 RBIs, really have to go back to Gary Sheffield about 20 years ago.
Up the middle, Escobar can't get to it. What'd you say is his average with 2 strikes? 330?
It used to be 330. It's just gone up. He does it again. Max Scherzer was laughing yesterday when we talked to him about this. He says he's got a 2-strike count. We laugh because he's got the pitcher right where he wants him. Amazing hitter.
He came in hitting 335 overall and 330 with 2 strikes. That really is incredible. JD Martinez singled and scored his last time up. Top of the 8th inning here in Kansas City. Inside with a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. Justin Kutcher alongside Tom Verducci and Ken Rosenthal here on Fox. The Tigers trying to extend their lead in the AL Central to 2.5 games. The finale of this 3-game series is tomorrow. Rick Porcello against Jeremy Guthrie. Good pitch with a changeup, 1-1.
That's a nasty changeup here, and I think even as hard as Herrera throws, have to be really careful with the fastball up and away from JD Martinez. Tremendous raw power, especially to the opposite field. And he's hit 13 home runs after the 6th inning this year. A lot of late home runs.
Goes back to the off-speed pitch, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's what's so scary. That's a changeup at 88.
I was about to say he stayed soft, doubling up, but 88's not soft. Obviously, you have to gear yourself for 99 and react and just try to read the off-speed pitch. If he throws you another first strike, you just tip your hat and walk back to the dugout.
One, two, pumps it up to 99. No runs on 1 hit, 1 man left on. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. Jabba Chamberlain coming in. The Tigers leading 3-1. Today's telecast is sponsored by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball, and by Chevrolet, 5 new roads. Back here at Kauffman Stadium, bottom half of the 8th inning. A new pitcher to the game here for the Tigers. It is Jabba Chamberlain. 2-5 with a 3.64 ERA, 24 walks, 55 strikeouts, and 59 in the 3rd innings. He will face Josh Willingham, Alex Gordon, and Salvador Perez here in the 8th with a 3-1 lead.
Well, you said it at the top. You're facing Detroit, taking nothing away from their bullpen, but you want to get the starting pitcher out of the game and take your chances with the back end of the bullpen.
Josh Willingham has had a rough day at the plate. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and a foul out. First pitch breaking ball. This is the day for Willingham.
Well, he's happy to see anybody else on the mound. Slider with the runner in scoring position. Another slider with the runner in scoring position. And once more with the runner on base. Takes the fastball down the middle. Just couldn't solve Max Scherzer.
And now he can't hold up against Jabba Chamberlain. 1 ball and 1 strike.
There's the Chamberlain breaking ball. It's curveball with a much bigger loop. Downward bite. We've seen a couple of those check swings and the breaking balls moving out of the zone.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ken, what's it like for a guy like Willingham to all of a sudden get traded into the heat of a pennant race?
Well, he actually is quite excited. This is the first time in his career he has ever been in a pennant race. He was with the Marlins in 2006. They were borderline in the wild card race, but not really. But obviously the talk of this game, besides the play, the tag-up play, will be Willingham's at-bats set up by the bunts by Aoki. At one point, I got a text from a former player who said, if Willingham versus Max is the matchup you want, concede the division now. But he added that he didn't want to take a shot at Willingham because he is an accomplished major league hitter. And in fact, guys, Willingham was 6 for 22 with 2 home runs off Scherzer coming into this game. The problem is Aoki was the left-handed hitter, Willingham a right-handed hitter.
And problem also is Aoki was their hottest bat in the lineup. The one guy, he's hitting 800, over 800 for the week. And you took the bat out of his hands twice early in the game, not late in the game. Willingham, just classic case of being caught in between. Check swings on the breaking balls and taking fastballs for strikes.
And now quickly, Chamberlain ahead 0-2 against Alex Gordon.
Only 8 players, active players, have played more than 1,000 games without being in the postseason. We just saw one of them, Willingham. Here's another one in Gordon, and another one, Billy Butler.
Outside 1-2. Down low and outside with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Billy Butler, one of the players you just mentioned. This Royals team, the fans, high hopes for this weekend series. Came into the series trailing Detroit by a half a game in the AL Central. Lost last night 10-1. Now trail here 3-1. In danger of going 2.5 back in the Central entering the final week. Breaking ball, ground ball to second. Kinsler, 2 away. Fans, follow every game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit MLB.com today. And non-stop action, heart-pounding excitement, historic performances. Don't miss the 2014 postseason beginning September 30th. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Both you and Ken. I know we got 2 outs. We can continue it later. As Perez takes the first pitch. As we read that promo for the postseason, who do you like in the postseason? Is there a favorite?
First of all, when you read that promo, heart-stopping action, I thought you were talking about a ride to the ballpark today.
Salvador Perez, line drive, single to left field. Don't avoid the question here, Verducci.
Yeah, you caught me on that one. You know what? I would say on paper, the Washington Nationals would have the best chance of winning the postseason, winning the World Series. But we've seen it too many times where, you know, some teams I thought if you seeded them were 7th or 8th, the Cardinals back in '06, they get hot at the right time. It's impossible to predict. One of the great things about the postseason.
Lane Adams will come in a pinch run for Salvador Perez. Ken, how about you? Who do you like entering that postseason?
I'm with Tom. I like the Nationals, but if the Dodgers get Ryu healthy to go with Kershaw and Greinke, you have to like them as well. And in the American League, I know I'm going to sound crazy for saying this, but if the A's get in, if they just get in, and the pressure finally is off with their starting pitching, Lester and Zamarja at the top, they've got a chance.
I like it. It's not crazy. The big question is if they get in. If they don't get in, where does this collapse rank in baseball history?
Wow. You know, we saw a couple a few years ago with Boston and Atlanta both really collapsing in September, but you're talking about a team that had the best record in baseball at the All-Star break. Now, that's never happened in the wild card era where you don't even get a playoff spot when you're the best team halfway through the season.
Hosmer takes the pitch for a strike, 1-1. And not just that, the wild card era. Now there are 2 wild cards. Lane Adams, the pinch runner for Salvador Perez. I'm amazed, and maybe it's the play of the Angels or the play of Oakland, but what the Angels have done this year and how Garrett Richards goes down and they just take off. Gets away from McCann. Down to second base goes Adams. Wild pitch charge to Chamberlain. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs.
Ball in the dirt. Looked like McCann tried to pick this with his palm down rather than getting the palm up and blocking the baseball. But play it like a first baseman, and it just bounced up on him.
Out in the bullpen, Joakim Soria. There's a question here for the Tigers. This is a save situation if he gets through this 8th inning. Does Soria in the postseason, if the Tigers get there, is he your closer? Is Joe Nathan the closer? 2-1, line drive right field. Hunter plays on a hop. Here comes Adams. He's going to score. 3-2 ball game.
Well, it's never easy with this Detroit bullpen. Look, a slider that Hosmer went down and got and hooked the baseball to right field. Even though it's a one-hopper to Torrey Hunter in right field, the veteran makes the right decision here. Not even tempted to throw home. Make sure you keep that tying run out of scoring position.
That's how you know how smart of a player Torrey Hunter is. He never thought about trying to throw home. 2 outs now for Omar Infante. Infante takes the pitch for a ball.
Tigers bullpen 13th in the league in earned run average, the worst in terms of the batting average against them. And it's not as if they've been overworked. They've actually thrown the fewest innings of any bullpen in the league.
Infante was the batter who lined out to second on that crazy play in the 6th. Takes the breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1. A 2-out rally here by the Royals against Jabba Chamberlain. Salvador Perez a single. Lane Adams pinch ran for him. Now an RBI single by Hosmer. Swing and a miss by Infante. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 different breaking balls from Chamberlain. That's the tighter break. He's got the bigger break on the curveball.
Chamberlain trying to keep it a 1-run game right now.
Ed Yost choosing not to run for Hosmer here. A lot of the managers will wait until the runner gets in scoring position with 2 outs, representing the tying run.
There goes Hosmer. 1-2 line drive. 1 hopper for Kinsler, who's there to make the play. But the Royals do get 1 run back. We head to the 9th here in Kansas City. 3-2 Detroit. The catch, and now pitching is the normal 8th inning guy, Wade Davis. Look at his numbers. A .94 ERA, 99 strikeouts in 67 innings. He'll face Nick Castellanos leading off here in the 9th. First pitch, 1 hopper to short. Escobar. 1 pitch, 1 out. Time for the one-a-day stay-in-the-game injury report. One-a-day men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball, encourages you to stay in the game when it comes to health and wellness. Anibal Sanchez out with his pectoral muscle. And the question is, when will he come back? This is a guy who is a key cog in that rotation for the Tigers. And as you see on this graphic, could he potentially be a postseason reliever if he comes back? Don Kelly now to pinch hit for Eugenio Suarez. And for more on the health and the situation of Sanchez, let's check back in with Ken.
Justin, the answer to your question about whether Sanchez can be a reliever for the Tigers in the postseason is yes. He's throwing a simulated game tomorrow. If he comes out of that fine, they're going to activate him. They're not quite sure how they would use him in the bullpen. He could certainly pitch late, if not closing. And he also could give them multiple innings in the middle, say the 6th and 7th, if needed.
Speaking of the bullpen, there's Joe Nathan warming up, the closer for this Tigers team.
Well, I can tell you that he will not be used in situations where he has to come into a game in the middle of an inning.
John Kelly goes down swinging.
There's very little experience pitching out of the bullpen. In fact, his routine to get ready for a start, he's very routine oriented, takes more than 2 hours. This includes multiple trips to the whirlpool, on the stationary bike. He's got an incredibly elaborate routine, and they had to check with him about being able to pitch in a game out of the bullpen, and he said, no, I can adjust and be fine. But it's a situation where they would let him know in advance that he's starting an inning, and once they get him up, they will commit to getting him into the game.
That is quite the routine.
2.5 hours.
James McCann at the plate, his first at-bat. Came in to catch for Tyler Collins, pinch hit for Brian Holiday in the 7th inning. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. It was Collins with the go-ahead pinch hit RBI single. No balls and 2 strikes.
You can see how this guy's so difficult. Fastball, cutter, curveball. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt. Added about 3-4 miles an hour to the fastball. That's what happens a lot of times when you shorten a pitcher, move from the rotation to the bullpen. He told me it's also partly of cleaning up his mechanics, staying on his back leg a little longer, developing more downhill angle to the plate.
No balls, 2 strikes to McCann. Just missing 1 and 2. Looking ahead to the bottom half of the 9th inning. As this pitch just off the plate.
It's a 96-mile-an-hour cutter.
In the 9th, Mike Moustakas, Gerard Dyson, Alcides Escobar for the Royals. The 1-2. Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Davis to end the 9th. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Last ups for the Royals. Moustakas, Dyson, Escobar to face Joe Nathan. Took place in the 6th inning. A line out by Infante to second. Kinsler threw to the shortstop Suarez. It got away from him. Perez tagging up for him. So he meant to tag up. The appeal, it turns out after a replay, all this stuff, he's ruled out. Ned Yost doesn't like how they actually went to the replay when they weren't allowed to go to the replay. But our game summary brought to you by Domino's. Visit Domino's.com. The pitchers duel, Scherzer and Shields. Scherzer got the better end of it. Escobar 3 for 4. Torrey Hunter a solo shot. Hunter with 2 hits on the day. And now some defensive changes. Andrew Romine in at shortstop for the Tigers. Don Kelly stays in the game at third. And the closer, Joe Nathan, in to face Mike Moustakas. The numbers are not pretty for Joe Nathan. Nail-biting time if you're a Tigers fan.
Inconsistent is the word that comes to mind on Joe Nathan.
First pitch in there, first strike.
You see the fastball. Moustakas didn't like the call. He knows how important that is and changes the at-bat. Catcher set up outside. We saw this earlier. He thinks that's down and in. But it's real simple with Joe Nathan. When his slider is biting down in the zone, he's on. When it's moving just side to side, he's not.
Everybody's on their feet in the lower bowl here at Kauffman Stadium. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Royals trail by a 1.5 games in the AL Central. This has been billed as the biggest series here since 1985. Fouled away to the seats on the third base side, 1-2. Fans of both the Tigers and the Royals, be sure to tune in tomorrow for the final game of this series. Coverage begins on Fox Sports Detroit at 1 p.m. Eastern and at 12:30 p.m. Central on Fox Sports Kansas City. Rick Porcello against Jeremy Guthrie in the finale.
The entire lower bowl on their feet. The biggest game here in 29 years.
The 1-2. Off the end of the bat. Flare to left field. Martinez. 1 away.
And that was the slider from Nathan. The first one he threw Moustakas there and put it in a good spot. Now this is where not that any of these outs are easy. You have to keep this man on base. Keep this in mind. Like a lot of closers, Joe Nathan not good at holding runners. Base stealers are 10 out of 11 this year against Joe Nathan. And so a walk, 4 balls, is a virtual double.
Dyson 2 for 3. A single, a double, a run scored, and a strikeout. Fouled away, 0-1. The producer of today's game is Aaron Stoikoff. The director is Bill Webb. The associate director is Sharad Devasker. And the broadcast associate is Jordan Harrison. The technical producer is Craig Marlowe. The technical director, Paul Harbath. Our statistician up here in the booth, Dave Porras. And the truck, Wayne Fiddleman. No balls, 1 strike here to Dyson. 1 away, bottom half of the 9th inning. Oh, 2. The Royals have had their chances. The first inning, a runner on third, 1 out. Willingham, Gordon both struck out. In the third, second and third, 1 out. A foul pop out to first by Willingham, a strikeout by Gordon. 0-2, little flare to center field, drops in for a base hit. And now things will get interesting.
Tried to change his eye level after all the sliders down. You saw the target for the fastball above the hands. Give Dyson credit. Really good adjustment right there to catch up with that.
All right, so let me ask this question. Is it a matter of when, not if, Dyson's going to try to steal?
Listen, this team, Kansas City Royals, they're last in the league in walks, last in the league in home runs. They are first in stealing bases. That's the game they need to play. The money bag is when you can run early in the count, when everyone knows you're running.
Does Detroit try a pitch out? Escobar at the plate, 3 for 4. Swings the first pitch and fouls it back. On September 9th, the Royals trailed 4-2 in the ninth. Nathan on the hill, and Dyson gets picked off. Allowed Nathan to escape the jam. Detroit held on for the win.
That was a really good call from the bench, and the manager, Brad Ausmus, the pitch before. They saw Dyson leaning before time was called. They put on the inside pickoff move to second base.
The hold by Nathan. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Aoki on deck. Can Dyson get himself into scoring position? Foul back. Dyson bluffed. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Escobar. Joakim Soria is throwing out there in the bullpen for the Tigers.
It's never a sign of confidence. You have your closer on the mound. Pitcher in the bullpen warming up behind him.
One ball, 2 strikes to Escobar. Double back in the first, a single in the third, RBI single in the fifth, flew out to left field in the seventh.
Dan went out to the mound before this pitch. Normally you'd think this is a slider count. A good pitch for Dyson to run on.
Dyson doesn't go it, and Escobar fouls it away. If you're the hitter in Escobar, do you go up to this at bat thinking that Dyson's going to try to take a base?
Well, his game, though, is not a patient game. He is by far nothing like a prototypical leadoff hitter. Like a lot of these Royals hitters, very aggressive at the plate. And we saw him early in this game jump on pitches early in counts. You need to play your game.
Dyson with 35 stolen bases on the year. There he goes, the 1-2, hitting the hole left side. Dyson takes a turn, a hold up at second. First and second, 1 out here in the ninth.
Ball just stays up for Escobar. Had the shortstop covering with Dyson running. Didn't matter, it was through the hole anyway. Now you still have to give some attention to Dyson at second base in this situation. Really dividing the attention of the pitcher.
Nori Aoki. A couple of sacrifices. Entered this game 13 for his last 16. Everybody's on their feet. We showed you September 9th. Dyson getting picked off at second base. He cannot have that happen again. And now we're going to have a meeting out on the mound as Jeff Jones, the pitching coach for the Tigers, comes out. Again, Soria's warming up out there in the bullpen.
In this case, a lot of talk about how they want to defend the situation right here. McCann looking in the dugout. Where do they want Kinsler? Again, a guy who's extremely tough to double up in Aoki. Gets out of the box. Really, he's starting to go to first base as he swings. Tough to double up. So really, you need to, rather than shortening up your range and playing normal double play depth, maybe you go back a step or two and put the emphasis on range more than trying to turn a double play. But at the plate right now, One of the best contact hitters in all of Major League Baseball.
Great speed on the bases in Dyson and Escobar. In a one-run game, bottom of the ninth, and a game that we deemed at the top of the broadcast seemingly a must-win for these Royals, trailing a game and a half in the AL Central. One more game to go here in this series tomorrow. Aoki takes the first pitch for a strike.
Fastball running down and away, gets the call.
Don Kelly well off the bag at third base. Check swing, did he go? The appeal, he did not, says Larry Vanover. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tough hitter to pitch to, tough hitter to defend. Ned Yost said he's never seen a hitter who can spray the ball more different parts of the field than Nori Aoki.
Greg Holland, the closer for the Royals, getting loose just in case. A look back at second. Andrew Romine went back to the bag. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the reason Kelly needs to be so far off the line is Suarez really has to honor the threat of steal, almost holding him on like a first baseman, that time running behind him. Romine at shortstop gave the signal to Nathan with the open glove.
The 1-1. Foul back out of play, 1-2. Talked about the inconsistencies for Joe Nathan. The Tigers signed him in the offseason. That was supposed to be the final piece for this puzzle. Solidify the bullpen. In the on-deck circle is Raul Ibanez. The 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. These fans were standing up since Mike Moustakas walked into the batter's box to open up this inning. The 2-2. Fouled down the left field line.
They almost hit the ball out of the catcher's glove. Fastball up. Wait. Fouled off. Tough to put away. Aoki 1 for 5 in his career against Joe Nathan.
Do you think Nathan trusts his slider?
The last one he threw was probably the worst one he threw. He got away with it. Pitch prior to that last one.
Dyson at second, Escobar at first. Another 2-2. Another foul ball.
He waits so well on these fastballs. It's hard to think you're going to get him out front on a slider.
Phil Koch and Joakim Sawyer warming up in the bullpen. I almost wonder, is this the last batter for Nathan with Ibanez in the on-deck circle?
You talk about pressure on players late September.
pressure on the managers as well.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. A look back to second. Dyson's being ultra careful down there at second base. I guess you could say learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, and again with the shortstop Romine right behind him, and he's not even putting out a pretense of running here, not trying to really get inside his head too much, although Nathan has to be concerned about him at all times.
Another 2-2. Chopper, second base. Kinsler tries to tag the runner, cannot. It's second and third, 2 outs as Kinsler gets Aoki at first.
It's just a matter of inches. Kinsler nearly is able to get the tag. Just misses him. Stays in the baseline, gets the out. You notice that Nathan did stay with the fastball. Didn't go back to the slider after he hung the one slider. Aoki fouled off. And that's a discussion here with McCann, the young catcher. Raul Ibanez, 1 for 11. Lifetime against Joe Nathan.
The one hit, a home run. Right now, the speed that the Royals have on the bases, they just want to hit.
Well, especially that slider. As I said, his best slider is the one that dives down, not across. Problem is, the ball in the dirt doesn't have to get too far away for Gerard Dyson to score from third base.
Ibanez pinch hitting here for Josh Willingham, who had a day he'd like to forget. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, 2 looking, and a foul pop out to first base. 2 outs, bottom 9. Runners on second and third. 3-2, Tigers on top. A backdoor breaking ball there by Nathan. Misses outside. 1-0.
You called. He tried to backdoor him. Made sure he kept it up. That's a dangerous pitch if it leaks back over the plate. That ball was never tempting in the strike zone.
Ibanez to first. Cabrera will take it to the back himself, and the Tigers will hang on for the 3-2 victory. A nail-biting save for Joe Nathan, but he gets it done, and the Tigers move 2.5 games out in front of the Royals in the American League Central.
A day of missed opportunities for Kansas City, and 1 missed base.
Scherzer gets the win, improves to 16-6, while Shields falls to 14-8, and Joe Nathan gets save number 40. The Tigers take the first 2 games of this 3-game set here in Kansas City. Last night 10-1, today 3-2, and the Royals strand 2 men in scoring position to end this ball game. The Tigers improve to 86-68. The Royals fall to 83-70. The updated standings in the AL Central, the wild card now look like this. A 2.5 game cushion for the Tigers, and the Royals are still hanging tough in that AL wild card race. For Tom Verducci and Ken Rosenthal, this is Justin Kutcher wishing you a good afternoon from Kansas City, where once again the final score, Detroit 3, KC 2. Now let's go to LA and Ryan Field.